of the day. I still survive. Oh, please tell me why. Do I have a greater purpose? When I become a better person, tell me why your phone ain't never working. When I need you the most, my phone keep on chirping. Please tell me this a joke. When the pain can't cope, rain broke, don't go. No, I can't, no, I don't. Shagging, hanging, I don't want to know where it's going. Bringing us against the world, bro. Fuck things, fuck the whole shit, man. You know, heart cold below zero. Baby, bring your own sweater. I was born inside a storm, so used to rain colors. I'm really my umbrella. I was getting high last night when I thought about you. I was getting fly last night when I thought about you. I know you're watching the phone ring. And you tell me that you're okay. I was just checking on you. Lost in love again. Abusing drugs. Yeah. Show you on your laptop. I swear I see your profile pic under the thing too. Under the little member thing, I see your profile pic. Oh, I think I'm frozen. When I get the best, and you know, we're around town. I'm the best, EST. I be in Kentucky getting money like I'm EST. I can land in Memphis, make $1 million like I'm PRE. Baby, I'm that nigga where I'm from, and where you be. The top waves, only watching film, yeah, I'm scoping in the game, plus I'm coaching past the ball, coaching open, niggas in a way. I'm just trying to get the thing, like Chick-fil-A. I was pressing my mixtapes for niggas was getting here now. My cousin, I can go to the Tokyo in a moped in the boss game, doing 5 times platinum. You know the best is yet to come. Oh my god. Yeah, show me you a member, I think. This is shit you need. This is what you're frustrated. Here, come close, come close. Yeah, yeah. There's no shade. You can go to a bunch of screen froze again. Is the screen froze again? Screen froze again. Back on my young nigga shit, made a bunch of shit. Watch me dump to that shit, keep running that shit. You know how to call when I come through the streets and the lock, I can cover that shit. Got the ball my hand, I can fumble this shit. He can hit it. I can take that. I just started to one of these rushing. I was determined to buy me a buddy. At the school, I was serving the bus. Why is it frozen, bro? So my mama ain't no more gonna sit out. You know that listen, I know what to put out. We together, can't we get it? It's not gonna happen. I know how to shit out. So we go, you thinking I said I'm not feeling music today. I ain't gonna lie.
Uh, this is weird. Y'all can hear me, but the screen is frozen. Like the screen dead. I said screen. The screen dead froze. I might gotta refresh, bro. I might gotta Let me see. All right, let's see if that did anything. You ain't tripping, bro. Oh, funny. All right, and all in all, good morning, everybody that's in here so far. Yeah, I'm good now. All right, good morning, everybody that's in here so far, y'all. Good morning to every single body that's in here so far. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Back to Shaggy. So we say you a mod on the computer, but not. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Justin Crummer, what's good? I don't know. I need a song to play. Justin Crummer, appreciate all the support on the apparel side of things, man. Glad I'm able to get everything to you. No funny. Nah, this shouldn't be a long. This show not gonna be long today. Today not off to a good start, man. Today is not off to a good start. I was saying I knew today wasn't a music day. I tried to play music, then my freaking chord came out. But today's not off to a good start. But we here. I'm gonna start talking in a second. I cannot wait till the weekend so I can work on some stuff that I got to work on. No funny. All right. Q Sim, what's the word, my boy? What's the word? Appreciate all the members, man. Appreciate all the members for sure. Appreciate everybody that's in here for sure. 1000%. 1000%. Two turn. What's good, bro? All right. I'm gonna stop this shenanigans. Stop the shenanigans. Good morning to every single body that's in here on this Friday. Should really want to see how the show goes or whatever the case may be. For the most part, I feel like it should not feel like, but it probably will be brief. We'll see. We had a football game last night. Hold on. We had a football game last night, which is actually a good football game. It was actually a good football game. We had to get to see we got to see the Lions versus the Packers, two NFC North teams going at it. So that's always a good thing, in my opinion. And on top of that, we had a couple of NBA games last night as well. Can feel however you feel about them, to be honest. It's a little up and down. Some good games as well. So we'll dive into that. And then we'll see how the rest of the show may go as far as everything. That's pretty much what it's going to look like today. He said, how Jaden Reed not get a catch? Nah, no, that's insane. That's insane. But yeah, to get it started though, and again, I'm just organizing. I mean, not so organizing. I'm setting up some things on my end over here. But good morning, every single that's in here, bro. Nah, he didn't get hurt. Welcome back to another daily Facts and Stats show, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Until I appreciate everybody that's in here. I appreciate all the support. It truly means a lot to me to be able to sit in this chair or sit wherever I'm at and host the show. And you guys supporting the show, coming in here, being in here, whatever the case may be, it means a lot to me, 1000%. So thank y'all for that. With that being said, though, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. If you are in here, guys, make sure you all like the video. If you are in here, y'all, make sure you all hit the like button and like the video for me, please. Hit the like button on that video. And also, if you are in here, you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. As you can see, it's floating on the bottom of the screen. Welcome to the best show in the world. Definitely one of the best sports shows in the world. And I have some of the best people that comment in the chat or even come on the stage and talk sports inside of the show. So thank y'all for that as well. Next, like I was just saying, if you are in here, make sure you all hit that like button. That also helps the algorithm out. Comment. I read all the comments. Obviously, you can send super chats if you want your comment to be super duper highlighted on the screen and just in the chat period. Make sure you share this live out. Tell a friend about Facts and Stats. Let them know what's going on in Facts and Stats on a day-to-day basis, and how such a great platform it is. Y'all are in here listening, and y'all must think it's a good platform. Pretty sure if you share it, they'll probably think it's a good platform as well. So let's try to get more people coming inside of Facts and Stats on a day-to-day basis. And then most importantly, if you are in here or you watch this back and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you all hit that subscribe button as well. All support is greatly appreciated. Now, there are 4 different ways you can extend your support for Facts and Stats. 4 different ways you can extend your support for Facts and Stats. First and foremost, you're starting with becoming a member. And you look at the description on this video, it will literally say become a member with a link right there. So anybody can click that link. You can be on your phone and click that link. You can be on a desktop and click that link. We have about 30 plus members already so far. There's 3 different levels you can join as when you click it. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. All of them is equal to me. Hey, they all have different perks. They all have the ability to send emojis in the chat that I have updated so far. We'll be updating some more as well and resizing the ones that need to be resized. That needs to be resized as well. On top of that, you can send super chats and super stickers throughout the show, whenever you want to. Like I said, all extra support is greatly appreciated at the end. Next, make sure you follow on Facts and Stats on all platforms. We have the Twitter, we have the Instagram and TikTok. It's all at Fact and Stats _. I'm literally working. I was working this morning, and I'm going to continue to work on it today after the show today and tomorrow. We're posting clips from the show that we do on a day-to-day basis and distributing it to Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So be mindful of that. Whatever you say can definitely, good or bad, can definitely be used, or definitely probably will get clipped to distribute to other platforms that I'm trying to grow Fact and Stats across. So keep that in mind as well. Make sure you all follow Fact and Stats on other platforms if you're not already. Next, I don't even think I'm talking to my microphone. Hold on. Oh, I am. Next, check out the Fact and Stats website. Anybody that don't have any Facts and Stats apparel, the Fact and Stats website is factsandstats.us. If you want to support me in that aspect as well, feel free. I'm always personally wearing Facts and Stats apparel. I'm not saying you have to do the same, but you can whenever you feel like it, whether it's a shirt, whether it's a hoodie, whether it's sweatpants, etc. Factandstats.us is the website to check that out. Next, live nightly watch parties. We watch NBA games together every single night. We also continue talks sometimes from the YouTube side of things to playback as well with different topics. Yesterday, the show went really damn good on YouTube to me. Then that carried over to playback, and we ranked top 10 players in NBA right now. And then we also ranked top 10 most improved players so far this season as well. So that's typically what playback is for, nightly watch parties, and then continuing the show from YouTube if need be. What else do I want to say? Fact and Stats Gambling Discord. The link is on the page as well. You can feel free to join the Fact and Stats Gambling Discord if you do gamble, whether it's NBA, NFL, college basketball, college football, whatever you gamble on. I'm pretty sure there's a channel created for you to share your plays in there. Then after your plays hit, there's another channel that you can share your winning plays in there, so people can start to see who actually is winning plays. And if you're winning plays, I'm pretty sure people are going to want to tell you eventually as well. So that's what that's for. So make sure you all join the Fact and Stats Gambling Discord if you do gamble. Typically, we'll start this off with the Who Sold Your Parlay. It's a small crowd in here right now. So I'm not seeing many people in here. I told y'all yesterday, bro, I'm on a break. No funny. It need to be an extended break. Like, it need to be an extended break, bro. Like, FanDuel showed me how much money I deposited on FanDuel in October. I don't even want to touch FanDuel again. Like, so disappointed with myself, bro. I'm so disappointed with myself. But that's what it do to you. Good or bad. Obviously, some of that is winning plays too, right? Me winning and taking out money and depositing back again. Good or bad. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like I gamble a little bit too much. So I'm trying to cut back off that. Shaggy was 2 legs off last night. Ja didn't get fit on his birthday at that. That's crazy. Ja didn't get 15. Fox didn't get 20. Ja was having a bad game offensively from a scoring perspective for sure. Fox, the Kings played the why can't I remember who the Kings played last night? The Kings played that's what they played. I'm burnt. When the Ja Morant got ejected on that wild call. I'm burnt. How the hell I just say that? I'm burnt. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that was wild. Ja couldn't get 22.5 points / assist. That's another bad beat. Like, I'll be mad at both. Ja not getting 15 and Ja not getting 22.5. Ja not getting 22.5 seemed like such a green bet. Because you're going to get 17 or 18 or 20. And on top of that, the assist. Yeah, I'll be a little pissed off with that one for sure. Okay, so you cash your 3 leg. So you gamble. I ain't never see Jordan Wood share play in the chat yet. No funny. I ain't never see Jordan Wood share play in the Discord. See what type person you is. Not saying I would have chilled it anyway. Good shit though. Keep doing your thing. So yeah, man, that's some of the people that got sold last night, or some of the people, your players, because people you betting on them, you ain't get sold. The players sold. The players sold you. You know what I'm saying? Them players got to be better. Now I seen the ejection slide. I don't know why I forgot that they even didn't even play each other. We watched a lot of that game in playback. I just be having some brain farts like that. Um, to kick off the show though, if anybody again, if also while this show is about to get started, if anybody wants, I know it's a Friday, so people's chilling, having a good time, planning the weekend, looking forward to having a good time, whatever the case may be. I'm in here for the time being, putting my hours in, putting some time in to facts and stats. Like I said, when I end this today, I was editing videos to post from yesterday's show, and I'm going to continue to do that as well. Reminder: everything that we talk about going forward, for the most part, especially as I'm using this to flip the topics, that's going to help me out with timestamps. Whatever you say can potentially be clipped and used for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So everybody be mindful of that. And if you're okay with that, always still come to the stage and talk about whatever the topic is. As you can see on the YouTube comments, it says to join the stage with the StreamYard link. So feel free to come to the stage. We're going to start this show off today with the Lions defeating the Packers 34-31 last night. I personally enjoyed the game. And D-Mac, my bad. D-Mac was good, bro. Over here, rapper.
You good? Good morning, man.
Good morning, brother. Good morning, brother. I personally enjoyed the game last night, 34-31. I actually picked the Lions to win the game. I know they were dealing with injuries, both teams, but I felt like ultimately the Lions were going to pull it out, right? I thought the Lions were going to pull it out, and they did just that last night. With was obviously something that was super duper questionable to a lot of people. Before we get into the game, D-Mac, I want to start right there real quick. For me personally, 31-31, bet Jordan, 31-31, 43 seconds, I want to say on the clock, fourth and inches. Now you can kick the field goal and go up 3, and they'll probably get the ball back with about 39 seconds, 37 seconds, 36 seconds, somewhere in that ballpark. Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. Me personally, I have Dave Montgomery in my backfield. We're a great team when it comes to running the ball. Probably wasn't on display too much last night. I'm going for that. I'm not letting the Packers touch the ball again. They're not. We're kicking that. We're going for that, and then we're running that clock out, and then we're kicking that field goal at the end of that game. I understand both sides, but me, I'm more so of the anything is possible on the back end. Granted, anything is possible both ways. But I'm a bank on my offense converting a 4th and inches type of situation versus putting my defense back out there and having to keep a team out of field goal range. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm personally going for that. Where are you with that?
Yeah, to me, there's 3 different aspects. There's the first aspect of, like you kind of laid out. You have Dave Montgomery, you have the best or second best, however you want to put it, but as an elite of offensive line as you possibly can, even without Taylor Decker. You feel confident in your team getting you that 1 yard. You know your defense depleted a little bit. They've done, as good of a job as you can ask for them to this point. And your philosophy of the coach is Dan Campbell going for it on these types of situations. So I think that it checks out from that aspect of what your team is built on, where you put your belief in, and what your philosophy is. Second part of it is kind of the logic aspect of it, and this also flows into the analytics. It's kind of a toss-up because the analytics doesn't do a great job of necessarily taking into account after you getting this first down that you can kneel it out. And so that changes some of the math. If you factor that stuff in, the probability probably goes a little bit towards going for it from that standpoint. And, if you believe that they're going to be able to drive down and get a field goal, it depends on your belief in their ability to drive down and get a field goal with no timeouts, because it's going to be coming from the same, yardage mark. They're, where they generally need to go to. If you feel like that's a high chance, then, maybe you don't go for it. If you feel, relatively confident, then I think that you do go for it from that standpoint. The last part of it is sometimes, sometimes it's difficult, and I know it flies in the face of some things, but sometimes you just have a feel for these things. Like this team has played so well the entire year. They believe in everything that they're doing. And there's also the secondary part of it. If you're a Packers fan watching that game, you don't want them to go for it. And I've been in that situation. We've both been in that situation when you're on the other side and you're like, damn, thank God they kicked a field goal instead of going for it. We've been there. So we have all watched games in which our teams are like, thank God they decided to kick the field goal instead of going for it. And that was a situation where, as somebody that picked the Packers and wanted to be right about that pick, I wanted them to kick the field goal. And from that situation, that also kind of informed your decision of which was the right way to go. And so people are going to rail against it. People are going to bring up last year's playoffs. The aggression didn't get knocked out of last year's playoffs. It was a few key drops that got knocked out of last year's playoffs because the plays were drawn up and they should have converted those fourth downs. Just is what it is. And in my opinion, they also lost to a better team last year, playoffs too. So I don't think that I don't think it doesn't check out from the team standpoint. I think that you can justify it from an analytics standpoint. And from an opponent vibe standpoint, I think it also checks out because the Packers did not want them to go for it in that situation. They already made a huge third down stop. I don't think that they felt confident in them making another fourth down stop, and they weren't able to.
Yep. Well said, bro. Process, that's a different conversation. I will bring that up after Z-From.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, that's a way different conversation though. Like I'm not with that one, but yes, last night and that last one, yes, 1,000%. I'm going for that. Z-From, we're talking about Dan Campbell's decision to go for it on their instead of kicking a field goal, 43 seconds to go. Where are you at with that? How did you feel about that? Are you going for that? Or are you kicking that field goal?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Listen, I love what Dan Campbell brings with that energy, with what he does in fourth downs. I love it. I don't disagree. I didn't disagree with him last year in a lot of aspects in the NFC Championship game. Maybe the last one in the fourth quarter when the game's close. But I agree with a lot of the stuff he does. I'm not gonna lie. I like when you have that type of coach, when you have confidence in someone like Jared Goff, you have confidence in someone like David Montgomery to get that inch, to win you the game, because you know that game's on the line. If you give Jordan Love the ball back, listen, we knew that game was close. That game was very close last night. If Jordan Love got that ball back, I'm not gonna lie, it probably would have went to OT. It probably would have went because they could drive down the field for what was it, 34 seconds? You said they could have got 34 seconds, maybe.
Yeah,
they could have got 2-3 passes off to Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Devontae Wick. They could have got a 2 or 3 passes down the field on him. That line's secondary food, so he knows I got to get this rush. I got to choke as much clock as I can. I got to get this ball basically down to 0. I got to win the game. And that's what he did last night. So I don't disagree with it, no. Now, if it was 4th and 7, 4th and 5, maybe. But you have a running back right now that can get you that inch, that can get you that yard or two. Absolutely go for it. Win yourself the game. Put yourself in the best situation to win the game, and that's what he did last night. So, no, I thought he was perfect by making that call. And I'm very surprised it went through because that was the one that Goff tripped, right? And Montgomery went through. Yeah, that's incredible. So, yeah, no, I agree with it 100%.
I wish Process had some time to come up. I'm gonna circle right back to you though, and just have you give your thoughts on the game in general. Lions obviously winning 34-31. Did you expect that? How you felt like the game went? Just sort of kind of dive into it a little bit.
So the way that I felt about last night's game, and this is kind of I'll start with the Packers. The way I feel about the Packers this year is they haven't identified who the true one on that team is yet, and it's going to show you in the stats and the box score that Jaden Reed is. It don't feel like it. It don't feel like. And then I checked again after last night, the box score and the stats. The stats are very close in terms of targets, in terms of receptions. There is not a clear-cut 1, 2, and dare I say 3 on that team. It's a bunch of they're all bunched together. They got to do something, and they got to establish who the one is in that offense. It should be Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed should be the 1. Watson did good, but he should be the 3, and Dobbs should be the 2 when he gets healthy. I don't like it was a Bo Melton. I think he should never touch the field again. He's terrible. Wicks is solid. I think Wicks is a great 4, and then you have a guy like Tucker Kraft, who could be a very good safety blanket for Jordan Love, so he doesn't have to force balls like he has been doing this year. So the Packers have a bunch of good weapons, but that's also a bad thing. So they have to establish a 1 before they get in the playoffs. And I said this last night. If the Packers want to get far in the playoffs this year, it looks like they're going to have to get the Lions in the divisional game. So they're going to play each other 3 times likely this year if the Packers get through in the first round against either Seattle or I think it would be Atlanta, one of those two teams. If they want to get far, they got to get through Detroit. And they haven't beaten them. I don't think they beat them this year, so
Yeah.
that would be the third time. But
we gonna hit on the whole it's hard to beat a team 3 times type of stuff. And I thought the Packers had their opportunities to win in this game. I think particularly that early Christian Watson fumble, I was like, nope. And then Christian Watson again with that offensive pass interference, which I didn't get a great look at it. Seemed a little borderline, but again, the way you run that route is so that you try and avoid contact, but still make it so that the defender has to reroute. And that just attention to detail being a lack of there cost them, I think, on both of those, because I think that when you kick that field goal, that the Lions are going to go down in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, take all the clock off, and end the game. And that's exactly what they did. Watson that early fumble put it behind the 8 ball. So I think that it's just the Lions are a team that's extremely focused and locked in on the attention to detail, and they're getting guys to step up when they need them to. When you got to be capped, particularly that defense played like its hair was on fire. I know 31 points is 31 points. That's a good Packers offense, but they in the entire night made it difficult on Jordan Love and that Packers offense. You guys hit their cap for getting the job done when they did, but Lions just had a little bit more attention to detail than the Packers did, and that's ultimately what was the difference in this game.
Shout out to Dan Campbell.
And Jordan Wilson, I'm glad you just came up. I was going to circle there. Anybody that come up, I want them to start off with answering. Are you going for it in that situation, or why?
100%. And here's what the thing about when you take a risk, you have to be able to live with the consequences and not getting it. So the downside is if you don't get that, you give the Packers, say 40, 45 yards in about 30 seconds and a chance to win the game in regulation. So kicking it, right, is like quote unquote the safe option. Most likely either you win by 3 or the Packers go down and they tie the game and send it to overtime. It was 4th and inches. I'm trusting the offensive line to get me 1 yard and to essentially finish the game, because to me it looked like the defense was somewhat running on fumes to end the game. Like, I don't know because the situation is if you kick the 3 there, in my mind I'm thinking, okay, the Packers may just go down, tie this game, get the ball first in overtime, and you may never see the ball. So I'm 100% going for it. And at the time when they were going out, I was like, you should go for it. But,
Okay. Yeah, man. That's overall, how did you feel about the game?
Oh, no, it was a really good game. Obviously those defensive injuries are kind of, had an impact, starting to pile up a little bit. But, look, I mean, Lions are a resilient team. I mean, I think the Packers definitely messed up not scoring a touchdown at the end. Like, the penalty was a real killer.
Yeah.
Because the moment they had to go for a field goal, I was just like, yeah, this thing's pretty much over.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
no, a good game.
So I don't think I asked you yet, and obviously, I think this is a situation like last year where no matter what, everybody knew the Ravens and the Chiefs were going to meet the AFC Championship for the most part. Okay. Everybody knew that. Now, this year, I feel like it's just like everybody knows it's going to be the Lions and the Eagles. In my opinion, obviously health, will play a factor in that. In my opinion, Lions and Eagles. I didn't get your thoughts on a potential Lions and Eagles matchup. Who are you leaning right now? How do you feel about that right now?
That depends on a couple of things. A, where the game is played at. B, just how many of those guys back Detroit does get back before that game starts. If the Lions are relatively healthy and at home, I'll probably lean them. But like I said, that is a tough, because because for all intents and purposes, Philly doesn't really have an obvious flaw on their roster, and really neither does Detroit. So it's like, that's a tough one. No, I'm not gonna lie. You might have to ask me that in like 2 weeks. You might have to ask me that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I never had your thoughts on it. Go ahead. What you about to say? What you
No, I was
about
gonna
to say?
say because Philly played Pittsburgh and the Lions play Buffalo literally at the same time. So
Mm.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Am I delayed? Am I lagging or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Hey, I might be
D-
delayed, or you might be delayed. Somebody's delayed. I don't know.
D-Mac and Z-Farm, am I good?
Y'all both sound fine to me.
Yeah, I think it's him, but you're good.
Oh, I'm delayed. Okay, my bad.
All right, so Jordan, check Jordan. Jordan,
Yeah, I can hear you.
cool. All right, Z-Farm, where you at with that matchup right now? Potentially Lions and Eagles.
I have the Lions, and I'll say this: if the Eagles want to win that game, Hurts has to play like he did against us. You got to play perfect. You can't make a mistake because this team is going to drop 30 on them. They're going to drop. The Lions are that good this year.
Do you want to bet on that?
And I can't wait this year.
If they
When
play,
the
do you want to bet on
Lions
that?
bring out this year, they're going to bring out that formation with Gibbs and Montgomery in the backfield. You're going to have Laporte at the tight end. And they're going to have J-Mo and Amon-Ra St. Brown on the outside. I can't wait till they bring that out in the playoffs. You're not going to stop that shit. I'll tell you that right now. That's not going to happen.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
Do you want to bet on that, Z-Farm?
I think you're underselling Philly's defense big time.
He just be chat. He must have. That's that weak ass Ravens defense or something.
Hey, shout out to Tim Patrick, man.
I'm
He's
Indian.
had
I
a
don't even
long
score
journey
30.
with a lot of season-ending injuries for Tim Patrick. So it was cool for him to get those 2 touchdowns last night.
Facts. Not last. But D-Mac, it ain't you. Just one temperature check for everybody. I know everybody had the week 14 this weekend. Well, started yesterday. But where you at with that matchup? D-Mac, I want to just check everybody's temperature real quick.
Eagles Lions.
Yeah. It's good.
I mean,
Eagles,
so the thing about it is, I think that the Eagles are more talented. I think the Lions are better coached. And that's not to say anything because the Eagles, have gotten good coordinating from both obviously Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, especially Vic Fangio down the second half of the season because that defense is playing extremely well. But it's a coin toss to me. And maybe it comes down to home field advantage, maybe. But I think it's going to be one of those things where either one of them teams can win when we get there. At least right now. Maybe things happen on the back half of the season that change that, but I think it's a complete coin toss between those 2 teams.
Okay. Jordan, what's good? Shaggy, the same thing to you and Jordan as y'all coming in here. Dan Campbell decision to go for it on 4th and inches. Are y'all going for that? Or are y'all kicking the field goal right there? And then thoughts on the game. Shaggy, go ahead. See what you got to say first to let Jordan be the last on the back end.
I'm going for it 100%.
Yeah, I wish Process can grab a mic because Process is the only 2 people that I know that said they're not going for that is Process and Ari.
Bro, Process.
There's
a lot of people that said not to. There's a lot of people that said that they would.
If that's the Eagles, Process is definitely pushing some ass. He's lying. He's going for that. Like, what are we doing? That's the easiest first down. That's the easiest first down. Like, what are we doing? He is definitely lining up to push some ass.
So Ev, if you would have asked me to name 2 people in a group that would have
some ass, I'm crying.
That would have picked no.
Yeah, that would pick no. Ev and Ari would have been the first 2 because they're pretty consistent. Process and Ari, my bad. Yeah. Process and Ari because they're pretty consistent in the whole not the whole risky thing or not doing something that has like the high risk that because to me this comes down to a high risk, high reward thing. That's really what it is because if you don't go for that, or if you go for that and he doesn't get it, everybody is killing Dan Campbell this morning talking about why didn't you just kick the field goal? Or I hate analytics, which by the way, analytics said he should have kicked the field goal, mind you. But they're killing him. They're saying, hey, the aggressiveness is gonna bite. But my thing is he's consistent. And to me, there's always 3 layers to it. Whereas it's the decision, it's the play call, and it's the execution. Now, when he went for it on his own 30, I probably would have punted. I didn't mind him going for that, but the play call was not it. Because to me, if you have 4th and 1, you're not running a toss sweep? I didn't like the play call.
Yeah,
but
bro, in that situation, I'd rather Go for it, and if we don't get it, cool. I know I lost the game trying to win. I don't like that conservative bullshit,
Exactly.
being scared. I'd rather just lose that game knowing I tried to win. Straight up.
Exactly. Because to me,
There's always there's always the thing about it, and I think this applies in a game to game, down to down type of thing, but also when you get to end of the game decisions. What's my best unit? It's my offense. If I have
Yeah.
a better
Yeah.
chance at converting something that puts me in a chance to end the game with my offense, I'm going to take it every
Mhm.
time. I'm not going to do the foolishness of let's rely on the defense to get it done. No, my offense is out there. I'm leaving the pen in my hands to write the end of this story. And if it doesn't work, I'll live with the consequences. But that's just how I approach these things from that standpoint,
Bingo.
especially in today's day and age.
Facts.
Bingo.
Agree, yeah. Like,
Bingo.
because again, that scenario is out there where Green Bay goes down, gets about, because mind you, you kick the field goal, you probably have what, like 30 seconds to go, right? They'll probably start at the 30. Like, you from there, you probably need about 35, 40 yards to get in the field goal range. And to me, with the way that offense was kind of getting chunk plays in the second half, like, there's a real possibility that the Lions maybe never see the ball again, and they walk out with a loss. So I'm like, end the game. It's a few inches. I got the best offensive line in football. Like, go win the game. So
Yep. I think you said that perfectly, bro. Especially the last part. They might not ever see the ball again because it would have went overtime. It could have probably went overtime, worst case scenario. And the Packers could have got the ball first. So well said, bro. Jordan, how did you feel about it as a Lions fan? Did you want to really go for that? Were you saying in your head go for it, or did you want to take the points and just say, hey, we can stop them in 35 seconds or whatever the case may be?
I mean, y'all said pretty much literally everything. It's 50-50 to me. The more I think about it, the more I probably go for it, but it's a 50-50 call to me. Um, Anytime you can take the lead with 30 seconds left and they have no timeouts, that's enticing for sure. But, Christian Watson had gotten loose a couple times. You're playing backup corners, you're playing backup, or you got backups on defense for the most part, out there. Guys who just got to the facility on Sunday, literally, for the first time ever. So yeah, you probably go for it. That first one, you punt that ball every time. I don't even want to talk about that one. That was it's whatever, bro. But you can't take the good without the bad. So I'm not gonna
Yeah, you
get
were
too
upset
upset
about
about
that
it.
one in your own territory, right?
You punt that ball every time, like especially because your defense to that point was,
He's
it
doing a
was
solid job.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get why he does that. Sometimes it gives the other team opportunity to get back in it, but yeah, the second one on you go for that.
Yeah, I don't think that second one 50-50, bro.
I mean, when I say 50-50, I mean I can see if someone kicked that field goal, I'm not gonna say that's the stupidest decision I've ever seen. Like,
No, of course you're not calling it a stupid
listen,
decision, but you ain't agreeing with it.
No,
Well, I wouldn't agree with it.
no, I think is that
nah.
certain teams can do shit like that. When you have the
Yup.
trenches that they have, you go for that every time. You got that kind of O-line in that situation, you go.
Okay,
I'm not second guessing, bro, at all.
Yeah, I'm with
Well,
that. I'm with
the
that.
other thing about that, only thing about that on that night in particular, they had gotten stopped a couple of times on some short yardage situations, so that could, I mean, overall, yeah. But that's why I said, like, if someone were to not go for it, I'm not gonna, I'll probably disagree with it, but I'm not gonna be like, how do you not go for that type of thing?
Okay, yeah. My bad. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with both of y'all actually.
If I'm on that offense, I'm pissed we ain't if they don't go for that. Straight
Of
up.
course,
I'm the
of
Lions
course.
player.
Yeah,
I'm pissed.
yeah.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, of course.
And like D-Mac said, bro, the Packers didn't want them to go for that, bro. The Packers wanted to see that ball again. 1,000%. The Packers wanted to see that ball again.
Only thing about that is though, like, I know that the offense would be pissed, but they're supposed to be. That's how they're wired and built. A coach is not supposed to. I mean, so a coach is, yes, you going to trust your best guys, but at the same time, that same philosophy. I know the offense wanted to be out there on that other one. That when he was on our own territory, yeah, put us out there. Nah, I would probably save y'all from yourself in that situation and not go for that one in your own 30 on your own 30 when your defense is playing pretty well. So the trust in your players you always want to have it in your players, but you don't want to just have what the players want be the end all be all because they're always going to want to be out there on the field and trust
yeah,
themselves.
it is a dangerous line sometimes you toe where you're like, all right, there's certain situations where you pull off a call like that, but all right, you don't go on every 4th and short. Like game flow, like really matters. So
And
I
make
do
no
think
mistake, there are situations where I'm cool with going for it in your own territory, even if
right.
it's 35 miles. It's just that at that particular point in the game, it didn't match the flow, the way the defense was playing. It didn't match.
Because it was a 3-point game at the time, right? I think
I
Green Bay
believe.
came out of half and just scored a touchdown, and I guess
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe
And
that's
they
what.
didn't even like that drive was interesting. That scoring drive. I didn't feel like that was a drive where it's like, oh my God, Green Bay is just, you know, imposing their will, so to speak.
Right.
That first
Sure.
drive that they had out of the hat. At least that's, people might disagree with that, but so I felt like your defense was still, I could still to that point in the game didn't feel like the dam was breaking yet. You put them right back out there short field, and now you stressing them out.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
All right. To the game, you got anything on the game that you want to add on as far as like what you saw, what you like, dislike, whatever?
I mean, like, you remember last week you asked me what's my favorite thing about being a Lions fan?
Yeah.
You remember what my answer was?
Not word for word. Oh,
Yeah.
You said something like, I think I'm mixing
believing
you up.
that they're going to get the job done in the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like just feeling like it wasn't a pop quiz, as I was just like it was rhetorical.
No, I'm here.
It's like feeling like if we need a score to win the game and we got the ball, it's just going to happen. Like if we're back up against the wall, teams take the lead on us, or we at the end of the game, it's just going to happen. Like that's just kind of how it works with them. And until they prove me otherwise, I was chilling. Like especially once we forced a field goal.
Yeah.
If they had scored a touchdown, I still probably would have been chilling, to be honest. But once they forced the field goals, oh yeah, this wraps. This is a matter of if we're gonna get them the ball back with time. I was worried about us scoring a touchdown too soon, to be honest. Like I thought we was gonna score a touchdown with like a minute or so left and give them time, but it just kind of worked out to where the clock ended up running out. Sometimes getting a first down on third down instead of on second or first down is better, and it just kind of works out that way, and that's kind of how it happened. So yeah,
the biggest thing with that was the freaking
that
completion the same
run.
run.
Amon Ra on 2nd and 17.
That was the biggest.
That was
the
crazy.
Biggest thing.
That money connection, bro.
But the refs are so flip floppy though, because I was another game this year. Yeah, the push off. It was another game this year when I watched, and it was a wide receiver did a clear push off, and they got a flag for. But that one, it was the same thing. It was no flag. So
it's always it's a judgment call. I think that when a wide receiver gets to the top of his route, and it's one of those things where if the wide receiver gets to the top of his route and then he has a dig, or I should say a comeback, then that push off can feel a little bit more pronounced to the back judge, and that's why people see it. When you're running that dig, then it's a little bit less pronounced, and they're like, a little hand fight on the top of the route. It's contact both sides, and you can let it go. So it's one of those things where that it's a little
I wonder how much with NFL refs, because I know in the NBA, maybe DMAC might be able to answer this. I know in the NBA, certain guys, just from a play style standpoint, right, they get certain leeway, like Bron or Giannis, they could put a forearm or lower shoulder into somebody and not get a call most of the time, whereas somebody else does it because that's their play style. Where somebody else does it and they get an offensive foul call. I wonder if it's a thing in the NFL. Myers is known as a guy who's going to fight with his hands. He's going to use his body. Like he's going to be a physical guy getting open, and that's him week in, week out. So I don't know if that could factor in at all.
Probably does.
Yeah, I just don't know how much of that is a thing in the NFL. That's something I've kept my eye on. How much that, because it's less, it comes up less. NBA that comes up play by play. NFL, you might have one or two calls like that in a situation like that in a game where that could even come into play. So that could have something to do with it. But yeah, that throw, man.
But now think about that call though, right? Because I think
real quick, George, it's one more. That throw was great. It's one more throw earlier in the game. It was a free rusher, and Jared kind of stepped to the side and hit the check down to Monty for the first down. I don't know if you guys remember the play that I'm talking
Man,
about.
you should be talking about the one where Love had a free rusher and he evaded him and then got to deliver the ball to
Well, Leafy can do that.
Nah, I don't remember that one. Though. I don't remember the
Nah,
golf one.
you were so wrong for that. I thought both quarterbacks played pretty good games, and both of them were getting
Jordan dropped
harassed.
some dimes, bro. Jordan was
Yeah,
dropping some dimes.
he had some absolute dimes there.
Yeah, no, he played well. Mistake-free football. I was worried about him. He didn't have a pick, right? I'm just making sure.
No pick. No pick.
No, just the Watson fumble.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he didn't really throw that many that were even questionable.
You know who's been such a great addition from the Lions game that I've been catching. Nah, just from the Lions game, it's on the defensive side. Darius Smith, bro.
Side. Oh yeah,
Darius Smith been such a great addition for you guys, bro. Since you guys acquired him,
absolutely.
He's always been a really underrated pass rusher, but he was a guy that made a lot of sense when you have Hutch go down. Just a veteran that is going to come in and do his job. Is a 3-down edge guy that can come in and satisfy that and gives you that pass rush.
Bro, if we had him when Hutch was healthy, and if this team was healthy with all these pieces, this team would be damn near like. I don't want to say unbeatable. We don't want to say that, but this team, it would have no holes. Like, where would be the hole? Maybe at corner, CB1 would be the hole. You would probably want a better CB1, but everywhere else, secondary, linebacker core, up front, on both ends of the ball, running back, receive, like you would have no holes in the team. They were healthy.
Yeah.
But shout out to that offense. So, because like I said, 2nd and 17, because after the penalty, right, which didn't really knock y'all out of field goal range, but made the field goal maybe a little more precarious. Mm-hmm. It would have been like common, not the common sense, but like a lot of coaches will just be like, you know what, run 3 times, make them burn timeouts, try to get as close as you can. And it was like, nah, you threw dang near a 20-yard ball.
Yeah, I knew they were going to pick up the first downs, even when it's 2nd and 17. Oh, I had confidence. I say I knew. I had confidence that they would. Like, I wasn't worried about that. But I didn't think they were going to get it all in one play. I thought it was going to be, a check down or something, and then get it on 3rd down. But thought that was a great throw with the hand in his face. A little lucky because he was just barely got the throw off. Ball kind of wobbled a little bit. But I've spoken to Darius. Remember, I spoke on Tim when he first got here and had 2 catches, just because I saw the role that he was being cast in as a bigger body physical receiver, which is something that we've been needing. And he's just getting better and better in the system. He's a welcome sight as far as being the 3rd receiver. And then J-Mo, shout out to J-Mo. He's developing as an all-around receiver, not just the guy who's going to run a go route and catch an occasional touchdown. He's operating in all levels of the field. The route tree is very much expanded. Way more of a physical guy as far as at the catch point and withstanding contact than I thought he would be. After he struggled early in his rookie year, so he's really developed him quite well.
I think you definitely did bring up Tim Patrick a couple of days ago.
It was not a couple of days
week. Ago. Yeah, I didn't mean to say a couple of days. I did not mean to say that. My bad. I'm looking at my phone. But I do remember you definitely bringing up Tim Patrick. So definitely good for you to recircle back and shout him out, especially for the performance that he had last night. 2 touchdowns. And I don't want to take anything away from what Josh Jacobs did last night too. Phenomenal game on the ground. Had 3 touchdowns, 66 yards.
This was a great game.
Yeah, good game back and forth. Better than I anticipated, I can say. But at the end of the day, I enjoyed it. So that's what it comes down to. Any matchups y'all want to highlight, y'all looking forward to the most on week 14? I know I don't do Sunday shows too much. So anything that you guys want to highlight or point out for this matchup or this slate, I want to say this weekend. It looks a little. I looked at it this morning as I was thinking about if I was going to ask y'all this, and I'm like, it's a little.
Before you pivot off, if I could say something. Buffalo's going to LA.
I like that game.
Yeah, it could be a fun game. It definitely could be. I just wanted to say, like, the fact that I'm seeing all these Packers fans on Twitter, calling them the Detroit Chiefs and just crying about
Oh, brother.
Jared Goff's knee being down, which doesn't make sense because it's not college football.
You want
That one of the safeties trying to take out a 6'6", 250-pound tight end at his legs, which you should because you aren't going to hit him high and tackle him. I'm disgusted at the amount of football fans that watch things through that prism. And
Bro, they
I
shouldn't be able to
wish-
say anything after Brian Branch got ejected when in Lambeau. That should be the end of it.
So
That's it.
I wish
I wanna get nothing but the rest from them.
the football viewing public and for them to get some help, man.
So the funny thing about that Jared Goff play, right, is I was thinking about it, right? They said, would you treat that like a quarterback taking a knee? Like, you know how like a quarterback is in victory formation?
No, because it's intent, and I'll give you the parallel of it. When a quarterback is in a hurry up situation, when a quarterback's in a hurry up situation, they go to the line and spike it so that they can, there are opportunities to where if the quarterback then takes 3 steps backwards and then spikes it because it's behind the line of scrimmage, that would technically be
intentional grounding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's an intent of an understanding of from that standpoint. Jared Goff is obviously trying to hand the ball off, not take a knee in that situation, and that's why you don't have to. you know when you see the things that you know the difference between two of them.
Wait, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, because on the handoff, because I was like, because my first thought is, well, nobody touched him, so like it's a live ball, like nobody touched him. So, and then they're like, well, what if you treat it like it's like taking a knee? And I was like,
bro, that's insane.
I was like, wait, what's the rules in that situation?
Oh, that's insane. Like, come on now, they got to be serious with that. Come on now.
It's gotta it was really lucky. I was praying to God when they showed the replay that no Packers player just like shin so happened to hit him or something when he was on the ground. Like that was actually pretty lucky that he didn't get touched by accident just by them, trying to rush the passer or
right,
engage the line. I mean,
no, shout out to him though, because like he was falling down. Or I guess what he got. I think he stepped.
Well, in the presser he said he actually considered. And I'm glad he didn't tossing it.
He said he considered tossing it.
Tossing it to Montgomery instead of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when he was falling down, he spurred him. He's like, what do I do?
Okay. But yeah, for this Sunday actually, we have Jackson versus Tennessee. Like I said, this game can probably this game right here. I think both teams are in the top 5. Yeah, both teams are in the top 5 as far as draft picks. It's really hard to see what happens in this game. I think the Jaguars do want the number 1 pick. I want to say that. Well, obviously everybody would want the number 1 pick. The Jaguars don't need their quarterback though. The Jaguars get the number 1 pick. To me, I think they're going Travis Hunter. And now obviously if you see the Raiders or the Giants get the number 1 pick, they're going Shador. So I think that's what will happen. I have no thoughts on this game, honestly. Battle of 2 tanking teams. I do think the Titans are probably
better not pick no fucking Travis Hunter, bro.
You just don't want him in Jacksonville, bro.
No, he's just not. He's only worth the pick if he's playing both sides. It don't make fucking sense.
But what did he say?
I think
he said he want to play both sides.
I think that he would be a defender first and then a wide receiver on certain downs is what I've heard is what he would want to do.
Hey, you don't believe that, Shaggy?
No.
Well, I feel
but
like
he literally said whoever drafts me,
that owner and GM need to fucking be gone.
But he said they should plan on him playing both sides of the ball in football in the NFL. He literally said
if the NFL GM allows him to do that, he need to lose his fucking job.
Well, I don't think it's going to be on a down-to-down basis.
That's it don't matter.
It's going to be managed though. Like
I
what?
don't care.
You act like it's going to be
he need to lose his job.
No, it's going to be managed. If a player is that good and skillful on both sides of the ball, and he wants to play on both sides of the ball, and I can manage it, I'm going to manage
his job.
No,
so
protect your investment.
Manage it the best way you can.
But
you cannot protect injuries, brother. Injuries happen regardless. Injuries happen regardless. You can never just assume when a guy's going to hurt.
You can still prevent them.
So here's the thing, Ev, though, right? Because you're drafting him on the basis, right? Because if you draft him number 1
defense first, he's not even the best corner in the draft.
So let's say, for all intents and purposes, he's a top 3 corner. He's a top 3 corner, and he's a top 7 receiver, top 5 receiver, whatever it may be. My thing is, right, all right, if you're managing it, are you still getting top 3 corner value if it or top whatever receiver? Like my thing is, it's because if he's not tier 1 on either side, to me, it's like taking him with the number 1 overall pick is kind of. It sounds a little crazy to me though. I'm not going like it does kind of sound crazy to take him number 1.
Bro, they can do this manage shit all you want. That shit, him playing certain plays on offense, that shit ain't scaring nobody in the NFL. This is not college football.
I'm just like you said, it was so managing. So it's like, is he gonna be like a gadget guy on offense, sort of thing? Is that like?
Well, D-Mac, attack this back, D-Mac. Attack that back.
So I think that, and I'm not upset by that. I understand why there's adversity to going on both sides. I think that Travis Hunter is the best corner in the draft, and I know that it's controversial. I do believe that. So I think that if you want to use his value first and foremost from that standpoint, I think it is worthwhile, especially in this kind of draft, because I don't think that there is a. I know people really like the kid from LSU, but I don't. There's some question marks about him being a franchise left tackle. Obviously, we know there's really good wide receivers in this draft. Obviously, Abdul Carter seems to be kind of just consistent top edge. But and we know the quarterbacks are the quarterbacks. But I think that there is a very real argument to say this is a guy that we put out there for 3 wide receiver sets on money downs on the offensive side of the ball. And then his exposure is just, essentially on defense for the majority of the game. I think that his ball skills are elite. I think he has really high level coverage skills. I think he's a physical corner as well to be able to be in run fits from the edge as well. It's a lesser part of his game, but it is something that still exists. To me, I can see the argument for him being added, particularly to a team like the Jaguars, who needs both. They need a corner badly, and they need somebody that's going to play every down. And they could also use another wide receiver to pair with what they already have in Brian Thomas Jr. And assuming Christian Kirk is back there. So, to me, I think that it would make sense for the Jaguars. Whether he goes number 1, goes number 3, etc., 2, whatever, that doesn't matter to me. I think that he is worth a top 5 pick, though, and especially in this draft and the people that he's being compared to.
I ain't gonna lie. I think.
Okay, wait, hold on, Shaggy. Before you go back to that, Shaggy, say the Jags don't get pick 1 and the Jags get pick 2 or 3 and they pick Travis. Are you okay with that?
You said they picked. You said they do what?
They get pick 2 or 3 and they get Travis. Are you okay with that?
No,
it's not. Yeah, I was going to say it's not the idea. It's.
I don't think he's the best corner. Did you not hear me say that?
So
okay, all right.
But even.
But you think he's the top? You think no matter what he get drafted top 5 though, right?
Yeah, because of the hype.
So,
Wait,
Shaggy, where do you think? Hold up,
Shaggy,
Shaggy, where do you think he should go? Like, just wanting to
I
know.
don't think he's a top 5 pick. Me personally, I don't think he's a top 5 pick. If I'm being
I
honest,
never
Where
heard
do you
you
think
say
he should
that.
go in the first round?
I think Travis Hunter's overrated now.
Oh.
Niggas is telling me to pick him
Where
at
is this
1.
coming from?
Niggas
Where
is
is this
telling
coming
me
from?
he just told me to pick him at 1, have him play defense and play certain downs on offense. He's not that fucking good, bro. Fuck out of here, bro. This is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
What is
He's not
that based
nice.
on, though?
I wish
What is that
Byron
based
was
on?
here to
Bro,
say
fuck
what
outta
he
here.
said.
What would you base that on?
That
though?
nigga line up on 3rd downs. He not scaring nobody on offense. Fuck out of here. He overrated, bro. That's why I'm standing that way. He overrated. And he just told me he's the best corner in the draft. He's overrated. That's simple.
I'll say this as I agree with Shaggy. I don't think he should play. I nobody should let him play both sides. I'm gonna be completely honest with it.
Bro, it's just flat out ridiculous.
It makes no sense. You can't manage it. I also don't want him going to teams that would need him to play both sides. Like D-Mac, what you spelled out for the Jags is exactly why I wouldn't want him to go to Jacksonville. Because as much as you'd say, like, oh, we're going to management, you clearly have a need at receiver and cornerback, and you have a player that you theoretically feel that you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So you're not going to manage it. You're just not. You're not going to manage it. You're not going to manage it in the way that it should be. I feel like if Travis does possibly go to a team, which again, I don't think they should let him play both sides. If Travis does possibly go to a team that would be open to him playing both sides of the field, it needs to be a team that does not have that desperate need. It needs to be a team where, like, Philly, they're like, obviously I don't want to, he shouldn't, that would be crazy if he goes to Philly, but Philly, right? And say they had a need at corner where he would primarily play corner and would literally just be a gadget decoy guy on the offense because they also don't have a wide receiver need. They have wide receivers there that can go out there and play and do everything. And so adding him out there would just be like, oh, it's a trick little play. It's a whatever, where he really isn't super involved. He's just there to cause like confusion. But like there isn't a need to like play him at wide receiver or give him any like relative amount of snaps at wide receiver, and his primary focus can be corner, in my opinion. I don't think if he does go to a team, it should be a team that has a need on both sides of the ball, because then like the management, it's ultimately going to come to a head, because you're going to be hearing that, well, we took him top 5 because he could play both sides, and you're going to eventually end up playing him both sides way more than you might have anticipated, because you can't manage that. You just
Yeah,
can't.
so I
Where do
think
y'all
that
project him to go?
you have to have a clear and set out plan for him and stick to that plan, and that means you have to be insulated from outside noise, all those things, etc. Because you have to be very specific in how you use him, and I think that also, to your point, you can't come off of that due to public pressure or anything that standard.
Mhm.
When I talk about the Jaguars, I think that because of how good that I do believe Brian Thomas Jr. is, truthfully, I do
Mhm.
believe he is really fucking good. I don't think that their need is to have an every down wide receiver 1. I think that they could just have a good wide receiver 2 that you can throw out there on money downs and use accordingly. So that's why,
But see, like, I
to
don't
me,
even think he needs to be a wide receiver too. He needs to, if he's gonna play corner, I'll say that. If he's gonna play corner any significant amount of snaps, he needs to be a wide receiver 3 at best.
I'm okay.
And that's just me
Feel
speaking
like
from like a
y'all
No, no, no.
management
I,
standpoint
I,
of
I
it
don't.
all.
I don't disagree with you in
feel
my
like
scenario with the Jaguars, assuming Christian Kirk is the slot option. Let's say 2 wide receiver sets. Christian Kirk is the wide receiver 2 out there with Brian Thomas Jr. And then money downs. I think that Travis Hunter can be the second option to Brian Thomas Jr.
So
is what I was trying to say. But my only thing is this: I completely understand the skepticism. I don't think he has to play both sides. Again, I truly do believe in his quarterback ability. He went against the number 1 wide receiver on a lot of people's boards earlier this
Mhm.
year. And then he played damn well against him. And that motherfucker's a
Mhm.
freak over there in Arizona. He had a hell of a day versus him. And so that I've seen him in tough matchups. He's performed well. I do believe in his cornerback skills. I truly do from that standpoint. So I still think that he's a top 10 talent. And even if you want to play him on one side, I think that if you have the right organization that
Hold
believes
on,
in him
people
and wants to
debating
give him
him
the
being a
chance on
top
both
10
sides.
talent.
Well,
Nah,
no,
nah.
no, no.
I'm
Shaggy
just
just
saying.
doesn't think he's the best corner in
He
the
said
draft,
top 5. Yeah, he just doesn't think he's the best corner
or
in the
Or
like a
draft.
top
top
I
5
5
think he's
At
the
pick.
pick,
best
worst,
or a
he's
corner.
the
top 5
third
pick.
best corner, and at worst, he's probably the 5th best receiver.
But
Yeah, like what?
so
What did I miss?
That
Because
don't
this
equal
sounds a
number
little
1
wild.
pick. That don't
It's
equal
So
number 1
base
just,
pick.
yeah,
so
go ahead.
I had brought up like the Jaguars potentially drafting Travis at 1, and D-Mac sort of kind of like he's with that because of what he can do on both sides of the ball. If he were to play both sides of the ball on some down, Shaggy was like, well, and I also said, Shaggy, well, what if the Jaguars get picked 2 or 3? Because Shaggy said he don't think Travis should go 1 at all. I said, what if they get picked 2 or 3? Are you okay with that then? He said no. And then he said, I just think he's overrated.
Yeah, he's
I don't
tripping.
think he's a top 5 pick.
He's
so
tripping. He's
so here's
absolutely
the thing.
bugging.
Why would I pick him 2 or
Hold
3?
on,
And
hold on. No, hold on,
it's a
Jordan.
player at his position better than him.
My thing is, we've seen a player who, because a lot of times people pinpoint, well, he's not the best at either position.
Mhm.
Well, and how like that'll translate to the NFL, but he's not the best at either position while playing both positions his entire college career. So if you center that focus to one side, be it receiver or be it corner, who's to say that there's so much room for growth for him
True.
in both positions, and he's already top 5 and top 3 as a corner to me, top 5 as a receiver at worst. So I don't really get I don't get the logic behind that. Because if
Bro,
this is his value playing both, playing over 100 snaps in college his entire time in school. So if you center that focus to one side of the ball, like Will Johnson is great. Why Travis is clearly physically and with his ball skills, he has the potential to be better. So I don't like at corner and then at receiver.
I don't know. He
I
might be too
think he
small.
could
He's
be
too small for me. But yeah, I like Will's size and his
he.
athleticism at that size. So,
I
but yeah,
feel I
but that
feel
wasn't
that
the point.
the
You just
ball
made a great
skills, the
point.
instincts.
They didn't make that point you just made. They want this nigga to play both sides. Not happening in the NFL. And you're not taking
No,
him. You're
I
not.
only said that's what he want
I
to
Well,
said
do.
that
I
I think
kind of
that
I
agree
he
said
with
that's
that.
what
I
he
said
want to
because
do.
of
Oh
I
wait,
said because of
Listen,
his ball skills, his physicality, his technique that I think he's the best corner in the draft.
oh,
listen,
6'2".
listen. I'm not taking him top 5 just to play money downs on offense. It's not happening.
He's a
What's the,
top
What's
5
the
talent
combo for
regardless, though.
this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think
It's
you
about
could be a
you
top
Travis
should
5 talent.
Hunter.
That mean
center.
you're a top
You
5
should
That
make
pick.
him a
says.
receiver. Now,
You
I
could be a
will
top
say
5
it's
talent. That do not mean you're a top 5 pick.
no. I think he's a top 5 pick. If he's a corner for sure, I think he's a top 5 pick. I don't see an issue with that. At
Specifically,
receiver,
Wait,
it's
realistically,
specifically
for the
Jaguars.
too
teams
Wes,
they're
low
going to be
risky.
Wes, we're
drafting,
talking Jaguars right now. I think they have bigger fucking needs than Travis Hunter at cornerback. It's just that simple. I think they have bigger needs on
Yeah.
that team than
Okay,
drafting a
that's
cornerback.
fair. I
I'm
heard
not doing
Ed
it.
say
I'm not
you
doing
said
it.
no to
That's
top
a
I'm not
3
more
doing it.
fair
and top 5.
conversation to have.
Yeah, he
I
did.
just don't
well,
think
Wes,
You
I
it
just
didn't
was
don't
say
it
think the
was
no
like
to a
franchise
a
top
tackle
3
is
pick
going to
on
it
the
be
was
there.
draft
it
and a
was a
top 5
multitude
pick
of
on
things
draft
that were
Thursday.
being said. Like Shaggy made the point that he didn't think he should play both sides, and he's not the best at anything. I mean, he's good at most things, great at most things, but he's not the best at anything, right? So picking him at one doesn't really make any sense. And we got into the playing both sides conversation. And then Shaggy said, just like as a talent, he doesn't think he's a top 5 pick. Um, he didn't say where he would want him to go, but it was like it was a it was like a few conversations happening at once because we all had different points. Because DMAC was talking about him playing both sides and him playing both sides in Jacksonville. And so that's kind of started taking over the conversation about like, well, what teams would have him play both sides? Is it a good idea to have him play both sides? That whole conversation.
And I want to respond back to Nana real quick. Like he can't be getting picked top 5 to be used as a gadget. The idea of him being picked top 5 is him playing one side of the ball, whether that's corner or whether that's wide receiver. The other side is just an add-on. Like
That
I don't
wasn't
want.
clear. I'll be for real.
Like,
I still wouldn't do it.
no,
So
I think that is clear. That's
Because think about it like
Especially at
this,
receiver.
OF. Are you picking because Wes, now granted, I don't want to use Wes's metrics for a question I'm gonna ask you, but relatively people think he's a top 3 corner, right? Like maybe the third best corner in the draft. Are you picking the third best
Can
corner
y'all give me the
in the
other
top
name?
5?
Can y'all give me the other name? Will, Travis, and who?
Will Johnson.
Yeah, Will and Travis and who?
Bro, it's Will Johnson. He's not better than him. That's it.
So it's Will, Travis, and who the other guy though? Is there anybody else?
Yeah.
Nah,
I'll
he
be able to tell you in
probably
2
is
seconds. I
second,
keep
but
forgetting.
Will is the best corner in the draft based
Okay.
off
Mhm.
of just like seeing him play.
I don't
He
know
has the
why
best
Starks
technique.
keeps coming
Yeah,
up because it's not
but
Starks.
Travis has the potential to be
I think
better
I
Yeah.
think
than
I
Isn't
think
Will,
the other
Starks
nigga name
also
I
a
and
think
he
is
has
safety?
potential to be
Yeah,
I
he's
think
the
the
other
Yeah,
other
guy's a
Starks
Like
is
I
safety.
don't
safety.
That's
think
what I'm saying. It's not him.
safety.
the other guy name is
It's a
Benjamin
kid.
Morrison. It's Benjamin. He's from
Okay.
Notre Dame. Travis better than him though.
Right.
Morrison.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's who
Yeah,
EXO was
I
talking
think.
about. EXO
Yeah, I
said it.
think.
Oh
I
no, that
think.
was right. I said he doesn't think he's better than Morrison.
Yeah, I think Travis is better
So
than
yeah,
at
I
him.
don't
worst, he's the
agree with
second
that.
best corner in the draft.
I
You
I
mean,
could
think
you
that
could, you
to
could still
some
go
people
either
at
way.
worst he's the third,
Yeah,
but
you could
I
still
Well,
go
for I
don't
was
either way.
about
think
to
he's
say
Nobody
for
better than
knows.
some
Morrison.
people he might just
I
be.
know
I know
Nacho
Shaggy
is
mentioned his size. He
definitely
is
better
a
than him.
small. He would be a smaller corner. So for
No,
some
Morrison's
people,
smaller too. I think Morrison about 6 foot. Travis about what 6'1".
oh, I thought EXO
I
said he
think
was
Morrison about
6'3".
180, 185. I think they
Oh
probably
no,
Yeah,
probably
Will is
about the same
Johnson
6'3".
height.
has the prototypical 6'2", 200. 200 would
Yeah, he's a
be,
freak.
a little
He's a
bit on
freak.
the
Mm-hmm.
shorter and lighter side from that standpoint. And that's fair. That is a fair criticism to go from. And the other thing is talking about the Jags specifically. If there was a surefire franchise left tackle in this draft, I'd say, yeah, forgo the idea of getting value of him on both sides, go after him. I'm just not sure if Will Campbell is really that guy. There's a lot of people that don't even have Will Campbell as a top 10 talent in this entire draft. There's some people that have question marks about if he's really a long-term guard. So I that's my issue. Specifically compared to this draft, I'm not sure if that guy is really there that says, hey, you got to go and take him first and foremost. Now,
So
the other
I
thing
agree with
is
that. I agree with that.
the other
Now, if it comes down to
the,
that, I'm on the phones. Who
the,
want this pick?
Yeah,
That's it.
you
and
talking about
that and
trading back?
yeah.
You talking
Yeah,
about trading
Especially
back,
if somebody
Shaggy?
wants to come up and get a quarterback. Certainly something that you have to always entertain too. The
so
third thing I did want to say is the Jaguars are going to have a new regime. Obviously, Doug Peterson is going to be out of there. If there's a new regime coming in and they're saying we're not in the place where we want to fool around trying to get a value out of guy on both sides, and they say, nah, we're going to take the surefire Will Johnson. We know his corner. Don't worry about anything else than that. I also understand it from that standpoint too.
so my question
Yeah.
is, so then would you so then is Will Johnson a caliber of player that you would use a top 3 or top 5 pick on?
I
I'm
mean,
the
if you're
Jags.
looking, if
If
you're
I'm
trying
the
to draft
Jags,
a
bro, I
corner,
don't think, bro, the Jag, I don't, bro. They got bigger problems. Not that team. That's the wrong team. They got bigger problems.
No. I get that because my only premise in asking that question is because if you're not, because I haven't heard Will Johnson that anybody's talking about drafting him top 3, top 5. Because if the idea is you're drafting Travis really to play one side of the ball, then just say that you need the best corner in the league at a time, or best
Yes,
corner
bro.
draft.
I'm picking Will Johnson top 3. Yes.
So
Okay.
I think
Shaggy,
Johnson's a
Yeah.
top 5 talent at corner,
not
especially in
asking
this
you this
draft.
because you're a fan, but the Patriots right now sit at 4. How would you feel about Travis just like at that 4 spot for a team like the Patriots where like they don't have
I don't
as
need
many
him. I
needs,
don't need
but
him. They better draft wide receiver.
okay.
If they're not drafting him to play wide receiver, don't draft him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Jack
I
should
think
get
the
Graham if
Patriots need
anything.
is so stark at wide receiver, especially
Yeah,
for
I mean,
cornerbacks that
agree.
Travis
But
would
I was
need,
just
that
trying
they
to see
need.
like if it was lower, like not outside the top 5. I mean, I guess you could say you go to Carolina because they could need somebody
But the thing I
corner,
did
but
want to
that's
say
also not
is
a big need.
when you're talking about cornerback and wide receiver, the idea of being a package player, really on either side, but very specifically on wide receiver, is not that out of the realm of like consciousness from that standpoint. It's not that crazy of an idea. It's not like you're rotating a lineman in. It's not like you're rotating even a running back in. It's not like you're obviously not a quarterback. I think that it's a little bit more plausible than really any other position from that standpoint because all these guys have packages on each side of the ball that they're specifically supposed to go into. And if he's the person that is the work ethic to be put in, which I think he's demonstrated at the college level, to be able to handle that from a mental standpoint, then I'm not. If you're the team that has the set plan out for him, then I'm not gonna pan you for it until I see the plan not work out.
So DMAX, so let's just say for sake of you get 70 offensive plays a game. How many of them are you playing him?
Um,
I thought the thought process
20,
is if he gets taken top 5, he's not playing the other side.
No, I'm saying no because DMAC is kind of entertaining the
Oh,
idea that
okay.
you're using him in certain.
my idea
Yeah.
would be 20 to 30. You're saying your average offense is in 11 personnel pretty much half the time as far as you look at league-wide rates. I don't think he has to take all of those 11 personnel snaps, but I'd say that the lion's share of them that he would take of them. So that anywhere from that 20 to 30 range, if you're saying that he's there's 70 offensive snaps.
Yeah, 70 offensive snaps, so 20 to 30. Okay, so you're looking at somewhere around 35% of offensive snaps, give or take.
Yeah. 30, 35, 40. Yeah, in that area.
Interesting.
And that's a significant, and that is a real difficult thing to do, and a unique thing, and something that you're asking somebody to do at an extremely high level. That is not a small ask, and I'm not making it seem like it is, and not something that is a surefire thing by any means. But that would be my plan for him if you were taking him based on the value of his, two-way ability.
Yeah.
Shout out Colorado. They boosted this nigga draft stock something crazy, allowing him to do that. But
well, they would have lost a whole lot more games if they didn't allow him to do it. So
he's not playing for the South bro. Team in the NFL, bro. This is the NFL, bro. It's not happening, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out to go on both sides. It's not, bro. Like we gotta remember, like Isaiah Simmons, were like from Clemson, where we're like,
small,
he can play
bro.
linebacker, safety. You can't do that in NFL, bro. You can't. You gotta have a position in NFL, bro. You have to. You have to have one position. Being a hybrid, that's not.
Well, he has a position. He's not, and even Isaiah Simmons got better.
Debo Samuel do it.
You have to dedicate your
this
offense
nigga
to
changed his
one
name so
side of
they
the
hate
ball,
me
bro.
501.
Like you're not gonna put up all that miles on your body, bro. Like you have to have one.
Who just said Debo Samuel do it?
That's a real
DJ.
question. I
just ignore that.
Debo Samuel is not 180 pounds.
Okay, brother.
Okay, brother.
If y'all in here, make sure y'all liking the video. Also, make sure you all hit that subscribe button. And tell a friend about Fact and Stats. Any more words on this Travis Hunter in the draft thing? Will we look back at week 14?
He is CB3.
He's CB3.
That's what I'm saying. He not stats top, bro.
CB3,
I think if you
pick to me, bro. I
think if you're going into the draft, evaluating him, thinking that you're primarily gonna use him at corner, and maybe gadget him like a few. I still think 30% is a little high, but
me too.
That you're gonna gadget him as a wide receiver, but his primary position for your team is going to be cornerback, and he is not the best cornerback. I think that does cause into question, is he a top 5 pick? And if teams are evaluating him that way, because you can't evaluate him if you're not going to play him at both, which I think we all agree you probably really shouldn't play him at both a lot, if at all. then you got to just look at him as a corner and like as a team, as a GM. Does that where you look at him as a corner? Does that call for a top 5 pick? Like I think it's a real thing to think about, and like, is that smart? Honestly, for your franchise to do that, especially since most of these teams picking in the top, well, right now, picking in like the goddamn top 10, have a ton of issues, you know,
So
if he's not
okay,
a top guy.
so EXO was saying, because I don't think Travis came out and said which side he prefers to play more in the NFL. Everybody just set on him being a corner in NFL more than a wide receiver.
I think he's better at corner than he is at wide receiver.
I don't really know what he's gonna be able to do at wide receiver in
I
the
don't know.
NFL, honestly.
I think he could be a good wide receiver too in the NFL if he played it full time. I think that he amongst wide receivers in this draft, I'd have him Ted, I've had him behind Burden. I think that depending on fit, you could put Ibuka ahead of him.
So you should
There's
probably
also
should
the
be
kid
behind a
from
Mecca.
Oregon that I do like as well.
You think
But
he's
I do
better
think
than Trey Harris at wide receiver?
yeah, I do believe he's better than Trey Harris.
Mm,
And I like
But
Trey.
we're underselling what he can become at these positions if he's full time at either one, bro. He again, all of this talk about how you can't do both in the NFL, which is something I agree with, but he's been able to do both at like a ridiculously high level in college. And he hasn't centered his focus yet. So again, I think sky's the limit for him at either position, bro. Like he just has to decide which one he wants to play. I do
Yeah,
think he
but
could potentially be better at corner just because of his ball skills and his instincts. Like he does things at corner that you just don't teach because he has a wide receiver background. But come on, man, like that dude, if he's a receiver, he could be the best receiver in this class. If he's a corner, he could be the best corner in this class. Like,
see that I don't think I can stamp that. I don't think he can be. I don't know.
I think to Wes's point, it's possible. I would.
cannot guarantee full time.
Well,
I'm not that high.
you can say
I don't think he'll be better than Luther Burden, bro. I don't.
no.
Know.
I would have him as I would have him as
depends on where you go. End of the day,
personally, I would
where
have.
you go.
Yeah, of course, it depends with all these guys as far as fit is concerned. I would personally have him as the third best wide receiver in this draft and the second best corner in this draft. That'd be how I put him. And if you're going to use him at
y'all
both,
really
I
high
can see
at
the
him.
argument for having both. I do. He has, to Wes's point, he has a natural ball skills for the cornerback position in his technique as he's played it for a long time. He's very comfortable in all the situations cornerbacks had to. The size is a little bit of an issue, and that's why I think as a pure corner, you can get some argument for Will Johnson over him from that standpoint. As a wide receiver, the movement is there. I think that there is technical route running refinement that needs to exist. I think that that's a thing, and there are going to be some physical limitations due to his size as well. Those things would put him behind Ted and Luther for me, but I do still believe that he can be a damn good wide receiver in this league too. And I don't know how much better of a wide receiver he could be if he focused on it full time, to be honest with you, because he just hasn't had the chance to.
That's fair.
He ain't gonna be better than Will Johnson, bro.
As fair as it is, I don't know if I'm putting a top 5 pick on it.
I'm not either. I feel like
we all can expect him to go top 5.
Top,
we all
top 15 for sure.
Yeah,
he's going to go top 5 because
he shouldn't, but he is.
That's just what it is. He's just gonna go top 5. I agree with Shaky. He should.
He's
just gonna go top 5.
Pro day gonna like elevate him. That's supposed to.
I don't know if I'm taking him over Mason Graham. Like I just don't know.
No, I wouldn't. I would.
But like realistically, like
Travel. Oh, bro, Mason Graham the best defensive player in the fucking draft, bro. Oh.
I would definitely take Mason Graham over Travis any day.
I would. Jacksonville.
As far as the Jags, if I'm the Jags GM, depending on man, get me the fuck out of there. I'm trading.
Give me Mason Graham with Josh Allen.
I'm trading now.
Yes.
I mean, I'm looking at.
Well, it depends on who they bring in to be their
coach.
Because Mason Graham, I think, is more of a 3-tech than a true nose. So if you're running an odd front with Josh Allen, I think is better fit to do, and also is Trayvon Walker, then you get a little bit hairy at picking Mason Graham from that standpoint. I don't know.
This team just got too many holes, bro. They got too many holes in the field.
I agree. They do have too many holes.
Like, I think no matter who they pick in this draft. They're gonna be back in the lottery next draft. Like, I don't
Their
Niggas sit
their
back in the
best
lottery.
their
That's why I
best
say they should just
scenario.
trade out of it, bro. Why
But
not just get
I was
more
gonna
picks,
say,
bro?
if you're number one, your best scenario is just being able to move back to number 3, and then somebody jumps you for a quarterback. You get some extra
Exactly.
value. Then you can take the Will
If
Campbell
you're
pick to add
especially if you're
around
not
your
looking
offensive
for a
line.
quarterback themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can take your offensive lineman there, and if he doesn't work at a tackle, you can kick him inside. Obviously, they feel like Walker Little can be a really good left tackle in this league. They obviously drafted, Cameron, or not Cameron. Was it Cameron? No, who's the right tackle they drafted? They drafted another right tackle. I can't remember.
So they say they
But
pass pro is good. They're not worried about
So
yeah,
offensive line.
they need offensive line help, but that's the thing. Campbell can be an interior offensive lineman if you need him to be.
You
I
put
think that's
Campbell at
maybe
guard
his
though.
long
You
term
do
thing.
not let Campbell play tackle in the NFL. That nigga arms is
That's the
too
thing.
short.
He
his
has those
arms,
shorter arms.
way
Arms
too
short,
short,
bro.
man. Way too
Short.
short.
His arms are short. So
So
I think that if you move back to number 3 and you have an all pro guard there that you end up picking and you get that extra value, then I think you can justify it from that standpoint.
yeah,
But if you go out and get an even front defensive coordinator, then take Mason Graham. I completely understand that as well.
Or just
so
take Will Johnson. Dude.
who do we know for sure? All right, so we got the Raiders and Giants in terms of picking a quarterback, right? The Raiders, the Giants, Cleveland, maybe, probably Cleveland.
Cleveland's not
Draft a quarterback.
I
Cleveland
don't
would
think
be
they
more
take.
ready. Cleveland would probably re-sign James before they drop a quarterback.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah, I don't think
it
they
just
take.
makes no sense for them because they're still probably going to start Deshaun next year because of the money. So
Jesus.
Oof.
backed yourself into that corner. Got no place to go. It's going to be Deshaun again, and you're
What
not going to put a rookie quarterback
what
there.
year? Next
Huh?
Even
year? You think he's playing? Okay.
even if they
I
don't
mean,
start
they're
him,
going
even if
to. I
they
don't
find
think
a
they
way,
should.
even if they find a way to get off of him, I think if there's not the top 2 guys in the draft, me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I'm running with James, bro. I'd be bad with James.
Yeah.
Because right now they're at 8, so you're not
Exactly.
unless
My
they
draft
trade up,
fucking
which I
Carson
don't know
back,
what the
bro.
fuck they would
I
trade.
don't
But
think Deshaun Watson ever playing for that team again. To be honest, that's just me.
for real,
Yeah. No.
I actually
Yeah.
agree with that too.
That's it.
maybe I defer to owner's
And
pride
Washington,
way more.
Tennessee.
You said what?
Send Washington, Tennessee.
You're not taking that
Um,
money.
I don't think he can trade. I don't know what happened with his contract. I just don't think he's playing for them
He
again.
do got
I
that
don't
big
know.
ass contract.
That
Man, he
release,
gonna sit his black
the
ass back in
release
Cleveland
dead
next
cap
year.
you might as well keep him and bench him.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was it?
Like, bro,
I
there's
missed
no
what
reason
y'all
to
said.
let him go, bro.
There's no financially, there's no incentive unless you can trade him and get at least half that contract taken.
What player are we talking about?
Deshaun.
Deshaun
It just
Oh yeah,
financially
no,
makes no
yeah, fuck
sense for them to get off of him. So you might as well keep him and bench him
that boy ain't going nowhere.
and pay Jameis
That's what I'm saying.
like a
He's
little
definitely on
whatever.
that. He ain't going nowhere.
And yeah,
Just say
no.
his rehab is
The
going
way
a
they
little
have
extra
locked in
longer.
that contract to their cap sheet for years to come, nah, that got
And
How
those
many more years he got?
restructures and those void years,
no, it ain't moving.
How
it
many more
shouldn't
years
have
he
been
got?
Jameis
that
How
long
Winston,
long?
remaining, Jordan, but they just restructured it.
I didn't
So
even
they can't
realize
get off him
Jameis
until
Winston is
when?
a free agent next year, but he's on the books for the next like 5 years for $600,000. The Browns are a hilarious organization.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get off Deshaun until when?
Let me
Realistically.
Well,
see.
hold up. So next year, wait a second. So hold on. Deshaun has a $72.9 million cap hit next year.
That was supposed to be for this year. They restructured it
Next 2
back to
years.
next year.
Bro,
Mhm.
that's insane.
They
Bro,
can't
that's
come off
fucking
of him.
ridiculous,
So
bro.
you can't get rid of him. You can't get rid of
No.
him this year. It's just impossible.
And
Next
and
year,
like
When
that's
can
just the
you
cap
plan
hit.
for that
His dead
piece?
cap next year is
I
100.
was
Like
you can't get
his
rid of him next year because it's 172
two.
pre-June, and then it's 118 in 2025. Like you can't do it. So you're waiting until 2026, and even then, you're talking
So
about
is
a
it 25,
72 million.
26?
No,
No,
it's
not even
26,
25.
27.
You're
Okay.
26, 27. If you designate him as a June 1st cut, then it's a $72 million dead cap on your 2026 cap, and then 26 million on 2027. That's like the first possible way you can
2027
get
is
rid
the
of him.
first year they can really financially get off of him and it not be
It'd
too
be
bad.
devastating and it not be destructive.
Bro,
Like
you know
right
how
now, they
do you
can't
know how
financially get off
bad
of him.
But you know how stupid you have to be to even cook some shit up like that after a nigga missed like a year and a half of football?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bro.
And they
That's
got
just
off of it because they're only paying him 17 million a year. But them cap
It
hits
is,
are
it is,
disgusting.
I
that is
mean,
being
They're
they're
committed.
gonna have
desperate.
to. They're gonna have to. I mean,
Freaking
I,
desperate, bro.
I mean, the
I
only
don't
way they
know.
do it is if they commit to a full rebuild. But with that,
That's
you
what I'm
might as well
saying.
just start selling off
That's what
pieces. Like you got to trade.
and I think that's what they're gonna end up doing. I don't see
No,
how
see, I think
they
Haslam's way too conceited
what
for
kind
that.
of because you got to think about everything. You got to think about people coming to see your games. You got all this stuff, bro. Deshaun Watson for 3 more years as a quarterback. I don't know from a culture standpoint, from all the standpoints. I don't even want to go down the list. Just from every measure, I don't see how, and especially coming off of an Achilles
He
injury when
also
you're the
has a full
quarterback.
new. He also has a full no trade clause.
Yeah, I
Mm.
don't. I think whatever they have to do to get him off of their roster, that they should and will end up doing.
So you think they're
Financial
just gonna eat?
ramifications,
You think they're just
and
gonna eat the money?
I mean, you'd have to
I
cut
mean,
him,
wouldn't it make more sense to eat the money for just 1 year and tear the whole thing
No,
down?
no.
but it won't just be for 1 year though.
For how many years? Like how many
It'll
years
most
would they?
likely, with how their restructures and the void years work, it'll probably at least say they cut him after this season. It'll
Hmm.
probably be 25, 26, most likely, that financially they're still in a bad place because of his contract. So
And
it would just
then
buy them a year earlier that they're not in like such a shitty position, which like cool, I guess.
I'm doing
But
it
like it's still
So
because
yeah,
like
so
what?
next
Because
year his
like
dad.
I'm never for the whole. It's sunk cost to me. Like when you start talking about well we got him so we got to play we signed and gave him the contract so now we just got to keep him in play. No, you don't. You don't have to just keep him and play him. You don't at all. Maybe from a you want to say from a public pressure and embarrassment standpoint, okay, but just like feasibly, no, you don't have to play him. You don't have to keep him. You don't have
So
to.
but
the
go
thing you
ahead.
would do is if your best chance at getting rid of him next offseason is waiting until after June and then trading him to a team and you have to attach a draft pick to take on the
Yeah,
$46
that
million
that's
And
another
dollar.
good
getting
idea.
him to agree to the trade,
Yeah, because he
he has
does
a
have a
no
no
trade
trade
clause.
clause.
A full no trade clause. So
Which
he
I
also
don't
has to want
know.
to go.
I don't know if it's a situation where you go to them and say, "Hey, we're trading you here." They say they're going to cut you the second that you get there. Are you cool with that?
You also have to remember who his agent is.
Right. And so that's difficult. So you have to also convince him. But that in that case, then you take the 27 million on this year's on 2025's dead cap. You take the 53 million on 2026 dead cap, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, I think I think however you can get off him is better than the alternative of trotting them out there for another 3 years.
I wish we
I
could go back
think
to Q4
You're going to be
logically,
years.
hard pressed to find
I
a
think
team that'll take him for a
logically it
non-J2
makes
pick. To be honest
sense.
with you.
I
I think
mean, and I don't
logically,
even
Jordan,
you don't
it
even have
makes
to. I'm
sense
not.
to get
You
off
don't
of
even
him
have.
after this year.
Yeah, you don't even
But
necessarily
the
have
way
to
that
get rid
they've
of him.
moved, again,
Yeah,
like I think it was Shaggy or whoever said it, they still restructured this nigga after he was injured for two pretty much full seasons. They still restructured him. So like they're showing me they don't operate with logic. They don't like this isn't someone that's like a front office and ownership that's operated with much foresight, long-term planning, thinking, we do the right thing, we make smart business decisions. Like they haven't there's nothing in them that has shown me that
I
regarding this
mean,
one player that they do anything smart or
they
anything like we're gonna
fans can
just
help
take
with
our
that.
medicine.
The
they took
fans
a
can help with
dangerous
that.
gamble. They took a dangerous gamble and they paid for it big time. Literally.
I don't
They
think you
Like
just go.
literally
I don't think you just go
were
from fans cheering this dude tearing his Achilles to he's our starting quarterback again. I don't. I
yeah,
don't think
like
that's
I
how that
mean,
this
quite works.
didn't they have to sell no, that was Cincinnati, I was about to say. Didn't they have to sell some shit to even make his contract work anyway?
Because they
Like
had to put the money away. I don't
because
know.
they had
Let's
to put
go.
the money away or something like that. I know Cincinnati had to do that to pay Joe, but I can't remember if Cleveland had to do that. I know they're also not a rich, like a super, granted, compared to the other owners. I know they're not a super wealthy ownership group compared to like what some of these other owners could do, where they could just like eat that money and like in signing bonuses and shit, they can make it up and like get players for like lower contracts but higher signing bonuses and just pay all that shit out in cash up front. But like there was a lot, not just money, like there was a lot invested into Deshaun Watson. And look,
hmm
Baker was a year removed from beating the Steelers in a playoff game, and they cut him. They let Joe Flacco walk after last year. They're probably going to re-sign Jameis, but everything has shown you that, like, despite everything that we've seen, despite the public pressure, despite the negative press, whatever the fuck you want to call it, despite the financial, they stick with Deshaun. And I just, if they do it, that would be a smart thing for them to do, but I don't think they're going to be smart.
I think they were counting. I guess they were trying to count for whatever reason. They were wanting to count on him getting somewhat back to what he was in Houston. That's essentially what they gambled on. And yeah, I mean, you you win some and you lose some, and
Yo, Ev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember I was watching the Lamar debates 3-4 years ago? Used to cook it, dumbass.
Oh, what about Lamar? What?
I said, remember I was watching the Lamar debates 3-4 years ago.
Why are you bringing that up like that? Like that mattered about anything?
Because you really delusional as
Lamar
fuck,
was
bro.
better. Lamar, what do you mean?
No, he was not. He was not better than Houston Deshaun. No, the fuck he was not.
Y'all niggas the hoe.
You
I mean,
delusional.
at that point in his career, he clearly wasn't. Like,
I used to rock with Houston and Sean. I used to
Bro,
rock with
Wes, about 3-4 years ago, we used to argue every day about Lamar and Deshaun, bro. Like
I used to rock
like
with Houston and
Houston.
Sean, bro.
I like Houston Deshaun too. I had to send his ass home, but I felt bad about it.
Lamar was not
always
fucked
want
up.
to add them little Chief shit in there. As a quarterback, Houston Deshaun was a really damn good player.
Nah, he was.
Especially
He was really good.
the last season when
And
that team was terrible.
Lamar was not better.
That's fine, bro. Can argue this Lamar's better than Houston Deshaun.
Hell no. Yeah, you need help. You need help. You need help. You need help.
Could you? That would actually be an interesting
You need
off
help.
season.
You need help. Houston Deshaun is not missing those
Assessment.
throws Lamar be missing. Hell
I ain't gonna
no.
hold you. If Deshaun never gets, if he don't deal with the off the field shit he dealt with, and again, some of that
He's still a top
very
5
well
quarterback.
be
No,
that
what you mean
all
top
could have
5?
been his problem.
What you mean top 5? He's still
But
top
like
3. Lamar would
he's
never
crazy,
be better.
bro. He's crazy if
He would still be a top 5 quarterback.
He would
bro.
still be top 1.
It would be Mahomes, Watson, Lamar, Allen, and Burrow.
No.
Yes,
No. Mahomes was never better. Fuck out of here.
I'm not getting to all that.
I got receipts. I've been on that. I got receipts, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Suits have been wrong many
I
times.
definitely remember if
Houston,
Deshaun was in
that was
Kansas
fun.
City and Pat was in
Oh yeah, no, that was a
Houston. I
popular
remember
one.
those.
Yeah, that was a
I
really
would
popular
debate
one.
every day on TV. I would debate
John
every
Watson
day
was
on.
good. He was good as heck, man. He was good as heck.
I mean, I would still maintain that. Actually, I don't know if like all the off. Well, I guess off the field stuff aside, if he was in Kansas City, he'd have been special.
Stop saying just off the field shit like the nigga ain't been injured. His
No.
shoulder is fucked up.
No. I'm saying that because that's really where it turned, right?
No, where it turned was him tearing his ACL.
Well, didn't he do that in his rookie
his
year?
best season came after that.
Yeah.
Jordan was right.
Oh yeah.
It turned.
What was his
last
injury
year in
right
Cleveland.
before he decided to hold out? Like his injury that he was coming off of
had
when he got paid.
He lacerated something.
Okay.
Granted, and it was that that's a bad injury, but he was able to play. He couldn't fly. They made him take the train to games and shit like that because Houston's O-line was so ass. But like that was his last major injury, and then his last season with Houston, he didn't have a major injury. He just played. They weren't good, but he played his ass off, and then was like, I don't want to be here.
And then he held out. When I held out, he just sat out.
And then just all the off the field shit, just somehow.
Because his best season of his career was his last year in
You
Houston.
can say that.
So
I think his declining play has, the off the field shit definitely probably has something to do with it to an extent. To me, I would look at the shoulder injury as like the decline in play or like the change in play, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Because I think that's something that's still affecting him to this day.
I agree. Like I think him being out so long kind of set him back. And if he didn't get hurt, maybe he would have gotten back to that point eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But injuries kind of just, halted that. We'll just say halted and ended that. So but
Mm-hmm.
it's a crazy league, man.
Now you good to circle back. This is not long. This is a Friday. Chill. I appreciate everybody that's in here. Any matchup this week 14, like I said, I don't do Sunday shows anymore. I'm gonna get back to Sundays. Just gotta re-get my my service time that I'm gonna watch back on Sundays to see if I can still work around that. But any matchup y'all looking forward to watching this Sunday? I'm gonna probably try to go quick this Sunday.
Can you zoom in?
Zoom in. I'm looking forward to Seahawks and Cardinals. I think that's the only matchup that I really care to.
Bruh, this is terrible week, bruh. Shit ass.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Nah, it's bad. I looked this morning. It's bad.
It's really not that bad.
It's not that bad. Y'all
Bro, none of these games.
Y'all said that shit a few weeks ago, or was it last week? Or
this
a
shit
slate was gonna be
bad.
ass, and it wasn't ass.
Look, this shit bad.
No, it's not. Y'all,
No, it's not.
Bro, what game are you? Like I said, what game are you stopping and saying I need to go watch this? What game are you doing?
I mean,
Scroll down.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Good point.
Wait, talking about that 12 o'clock slate, low key. That looks like a red zone slate. That looks like a red zone.
Like
12 o'clock game should always be red zone. What the fuck?
You're gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna stop my Sunday. I'm gonna make sure I watch the Ravens and Eagles game."
The Bills game is good. I definitely think KC versus. I definitely think KC versus LA is gonna be
you know that Monday.
good.
Oh, you know I'm tuned into that Monday night game.
1000% think.
Jamar Chase versus Trayvon.
Cleveland Pittsburgh is gonna be interesting. But who the fuck knows how that's gonna
This
go?
slate is terrible. Y'all just
But BJ is right. There's no game that's gonna make you want to stop your Sunday, whatever you're doing.
No, I'm gonna be on red zone during the noon slate, and then you get to the
and
slate.
Seahawks Cardinals. That's what
I'm gonna be watching Seattle and the Buffalo game really just on a split
ass.
screen. That's really how that's gonna work.
Exactly, D-Mac. Exactly.
I always be saying slate's ass and then be surprised when niggas lose.
But I mean, it's a red zone slate. But we'll get to we're gonna get to the red zone. We're gonna get to the witching hour, and they're gonna be like 3 good games.
Talking over everybody,
bro. Shut up.
Everybody talking over everybody. But no, I was saying Seattle and Arizona, and then Buffalo and Los Angeles are two best games to me.
Hold up, why y'all sleeping on the Bears and the Niners game though?
Bro, please stop. Please stop.
We got 6 teams on bye. We obviously had Thursday night football still, so that's the reason why it's not a great slate from that standpoint. But red zone, split screen, and the.
I actually think that Atlanta Minnesota
flipping teams around.
Kirk Cousins go back to Minnesota.
Atlanta Minnesota game could be good. Cleveland Pittsburgh, whatever the fuck y'all want to say about it, is actually not going to be a bad game.
I'm watching my guys. That's what I'm doing.
That's in Minnesota.
That's just the.
Okay, Kirk going back to Minnesota.
Watching my boy Saquon take me to the fantasy playoffs. Yes, sir.
Y'all sleeping on that man. Y'all sleep. Y'all got it, man. Y'all sleep.
I think what's gonna happen is the games are gonna we look at the slate, the 12 o'clock slate, and it's like,
The Niners still fighting for a playoff spot.
That's what and Jordan. I know you about to go with this, and you know what I'm gonna say on Monday
morning.
I
think that's typically how it is the week after Thanksgiving.
They're down a wide receiver. They're hurt on defense. The Brock Purdy's not even healthy. The Niners are just not a good football team.
So you don't want to watch Caleb Williams play football.
They're
still fighting for the division.
Here's what's going on.
The Jets and Dolphins could be good, surprisingly.
No, the fuck it can't.
It cannot be. What are you talking about?
Wait, Jets and Dolphins can be good, but you want to say Browns and Steelers can be good?
Y'all not watching?
Are you fucking stupid? Yes.
That game is going to be 16 to 13 or something like that.
Are the Jets as good as the Browns or the Steelers?
Then the Browns probably as the Browns.
Oh, you're lying. Okay.
Yes, as the Browns.
Go away. Go away. You can be delusional.
No,
so you hold up, Jordan. So y'all lost to a team worse than the Jets?
Hey, it's football. It happens.
Okay. Oh, but they're worse than the Jets.
It's football. It's a divisional game.
But y'all are worse than the Jets. Give me that divisional. And this is a divisional game.
I didn't say as worse. I didn't say that in the AFC.
What other games are good?
Dolphins and the Jets is a divisional game too.
What other games are good?
Wait a second. The Browns are better. Let's not do that.
The Dolphins Jets a divisional game too.
Come on, the Browns.
I didn't do the divisional game bullshit. I said it's just going to be a good game.
Wait,
the Browns. You the one that said it's divisional.
Come on, the Browns beat the Ravens. The Browns beat the Steelers, and they damn near almost beat the Broncos too. The Browns are, at least with Jameis Winston, they actually look like a football team. I don't know what that shit's going on in New York, but we're not.
But the Jets are ass.
The Jets suck, dude. What are we doing? The Jets are nowhere near as good as the Browns.
At the end of the day, I think BJ said that all needed to be said. You're not stopping your Sunday and prioritize watching one of these games.
Bro, I rarely stop my Sunday to watch most games.
So here's the thing, though, right? What's gonna happen?
I rarely stop my Sunday to watch most games.
So what these on this 1 o'clock slate?
Bro, I don't care
you're
what you
probably
say.
gonna have.
Unlike you, I'm a real fan of my team, and I watch my guy, and I enjoy watching my guys play.
No, I don't watch that nigga.
No, so y'all are gonna turn about 2 or 3:45 Eastern. Y'all are gonna be like, one of these games is gonna come down to the wire, and then you'll turn it. That's normally what happens.
I mean, yeah, okay, but at the end of the day, you're still not stopping what you're doing to watch.
Yeah, no, it's a red zone.
Y'all watch
This is a red
specific
zone.
games during the 1 o'clock hour?
It depends. It depends.
Like, give me how many weeks y'all actually do that.
There are some weeks. There are some weeks for me that
doesn't. And I will preface this: that does not involve the team that you're a fan of. How many fucking times do you really do that?
There are some weeks which I'll have premium matchups on. There are some weeks that I'll have premium matchups on that I'll split screen onto my TV, and then I'll just have red zone on my laptop. And then there's some weeks where there's none of those, and I just do red zone for the other window.
Like most of the time, you just do red zone during the 1 o'clock hour.
A lot of weeks, yeah. I mean,
okay. So why are we acting like this is any different?
There have been some good noon slate in weeks past. Like
I know Ravens and Steelers was at noon the other week.
Then guess who did not stop to watch that shit? Me.
That's a good watch.
I was watching fucking red zone.
Oh. What did I watch last week?
You chose red zone or Ravens and Steelers?
My nigga, why the fuck am I gonna just stop my day to watch y'all?
Damn, that's a good game. That's really two good teams in the AFC.
Yo, D-Mac.
What's up? Can y'all hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mac. Shaggy, where'd you go?
He walking past his boss right now.
But yeah, week 11, I did have that Ravens Steelers games on. Steelers Commanders was an early window game. I think week 10 afterwards. That was another one that I emphasized.
Didn't stop my game to watch that either.
Yeah, that was another straight game.
Well, I will say this. I mean,
I literally think and I can't even remember if this was a noon game. I literally think the only noon game that I've watched like solo this year was Lions Vikings, like their first matchup. And they were both.
That was a good bump too.
And I don't even know if that was a noon matchup, but I think it might have been.
It was.
Yeah, that's the only one I stopped to watch because they were both. The Vikings were like hot, and I think they were both the Vikings were undefeated. I think going into that game. Yeah, the only one.
Yeah, because I'm
everything else noon. Like so many fucking games got going on. Nigga, I'm red zone.
I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just clicking on some of these past noon games. I mean, a lot of the times, there's not a lot of good noon games on.
It's a
they save that shit for
it's a preference thing, though. Matter of fact, hold up, let me see. It's a preference thing, bro. Who do you actually want to watch? Like, who do you want to watch? Like, example, I watch a lot of Bengals games.
I do watch a lot of Bengals games
great.
too.
Yeah. Hell yeah,
they're entertaining.
I get to watch motherfucking Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Shit is.
But mainly I watch like if it's two playoff teams going at it, then that's usually
last week. Chargers, Falcons. I watched the Commanders Titans for a little bit.
Chargers Falcons was good on paper, and then you watch the game, and that's.
I'm trying to think if there's another one outside of that game.
Anything to make the Falcons look bad.
Most of the teams I like watching playing it later out.
Y'all crazy if I'm missing that Caleb Williams and Brock Purdy hate watch.
What was it? Commanders, Cowboys. I watched that.
Shaggy, who you hate more?
See, I turned that one on at the end.
D-Mac, all right. So
you about to ask me an MLB question?
Nah, hell nah. That WNBA team, the Valkyries, whatever, they drafted
who?
Whatever they, I don't know.
Valkyries.
I didn't look at their name, bro. Honestly, that's my first time even. I never looked at their name. Let me look at it now. So
they changed it to the fucking what's the name?
What is their name?
What's
their name?
Valkyries.
The Valkyries.
They're the Golden State Valkyries.
They're drafting a full team today.
Yes. Well, minus one person.
Is it 10? Yeah.
Wait, have you not watched TV or something? You've never heard of?
Yes, they're drafting their full roster, and then they'll draft their draft pick. So I think it's 10 because don't they have 11-man rosters or 12? I can't remember.
But yeah, so the expansive draft is tonight.
Yes, that's today at 6:30 Eastern.
Oh, 6:30.
I've never seen an expansion draft before.
So we find out what players didn't get
Today.
Right.
Yeah.
We
You never
don't.
watched the
You
Texans and
don't
Saints
find
game?
out till the draft.
Yeah,
That's
today.
ass.
Yeah, I don't like that
Mm,
they hiding it either, but hey, it is what it is.
But no, I think they say the fever made a mistake and posted theirs already.
The full 10, so they drafting their full 10 tonight. Okay.
And then you just have their draft pick that they're gonna
What time?
have
What time is that?
in
6:30.
6:30 Eastern.
Okay.
It's gonna be
I,
on
I
ESPN.
I ain't
can't
gonna lie. This
wait,
about to be
man.
interesting. This about
Yeah,
to
I
be
can't wait to
interesting.
watch that. I ain't gonna lie. I
And
can't
I
wait.
low key, I read the rules of this is gonna be chaotic because not only are they just like taking players that they want, they can draft a player and then trade that player
Yeah, you could
like
trade.
in
So
that draft.
they can't draft the current free agents, right?
They can only draft one current free agent.
That's
Yeah,
ass.
They can draft a current
Well,
unrestricted free agent.
one unrestricted free agent.
unrestricted.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
But like teams can like I was looking at the at like this mock scenario, like teams can also like, oh, instead of drafting this unprotected player that we have because we can only protect 6, we will trade you this player plus a draft pick or draft picks, draft compensation, so you don't take that player. It's gonna be a little chaotic.
Interesting.
Mm.
Oh yeah, so that's the scenario every that Liberty scenario. So they'll be like, instead of, so like they'll use their draft picks. So they'll be like, okay, we'll give you this. You can draft this unprotected player, but so you don't draft these other 2 or one of the other 2 that we actually really want to keep so we couldn't protect them. We'll trade you that player, that third player, and like some draft picks just to make sure you don't draft those other 2 that we want to keep but we couldn't protect.
Gotcha.
So you can go to any and kid welcome and further elaborate, kid. I know I DM'd you earlier. So you can pick any you can look at one team and say, okay, I want this player and this player from your team, or you got to go one by one for different teams.
So the list
I'm not
they
sure,
so the
but
list they have
You can pick one
I think
person
it's
per
team
team.
by team.
is team
You
by
pick one
team,
person
but
per
the
team.
list they had
Woo.
of who they want protected was sent, I believe, Monday.
Yeah, so they
So
already
they knew
have
about
who's
so they know
protected
who they
and who's
protected and who's not
unprotected.
for a
So they
week.
know this.
Where's that list at, kid?
We don't have it.
That's
They
the
have it.
one thing they did not
It's not
Oh,
tweet.
public.
okay.
And so I think what they didn't specify if they're gonna do it, but I think what will happen, just like from what I read, is that we'll find out who each team protected as it's their turn
Yep. Everybody going to figure out at the same exact
at the
time.
same exact time. So the only team that knows all of the teams that are protected is the Valkyrie. All the players that are protected is the Valkyrie.
That's the only one.
Then we will find out team by team, and I think they're probably gonna in like alphabetical order.
Bro,
Yep.
this is insane. This is
So
insane.
if they're
Yeah,
alphabetical order,
it's
Atlanta's first to
chaotic.
figure this mess out.
If she was to play this year coming up and they draft Deladon, they can immediately trade her, like Ari was just saying.
Yes.
That's insane, bro.
Dang.
And you don't have to trade her. You can trade her to wherever the fuck team you want and get whatever you want back from that team. So like theoretically, like I'm making up a random ass scenario, but like say the Sparks want EDD, they can draft EDD if she's unprotected, draft EDD, trade her to the Sparks and get an additional player from the Sparks in addition to the player they're already gonna take.
And probably a pick.
Now can the
They about
Sparks
to be
in that
ass,
now can
bro.
the Sparks in that trade a protected player or only unprotected players?
Only unprotected. I mean, if they want to trade a protected player,
They can trade whoever
but they
want.
can do who they want.
They can
But
trade
you would
whoever they
assume
want.
because that player is protected that they probably don't trade him. But they can. They can. I'm almost positive there's nothing against them trading a protected player.
Oh, they
Like,
can trade a protected player all they want.
yeah, it's their player. They have the rights to him.
So they didn't have a chance to get the first pick in the draft, right? They didn't have a chance.
No, they're pick 5.
They're pick, they're
Bro,
the fifth pick in each round.
Paige would have been mad as fuck if she got drafted to this team.
I mean, probably, but
bro, this team's about to be ass. They're gonna be flat out ass.
It'll be
They're not gonna be
interesting.
ass. It's gonna be a start though.
Bro, yes they are. They're gonna be ass.
I don't know how good they're gonna be.
Bro,
I mean,
Taylor's clearly going to protect their 6 best players. They're going to be ass.
Aren't expansion teams normally, don't they start out like that or no? Do they normally start out not very good and then they kind of build? Or...
Well, I don't know what expansion teams look like in the W, but
they're about to be picking from a bunch of mid.
Because I want to say that was how
but it's a start,
Atlanta
though.
started out as an expansion team. So
I mean, Atlanta and Dallas, both were kind of like that. But what's crazy is that, you know, they're the expansion team this year,
We got two
And then
next year.
next year, and then after 2026, so like there'll be the expansion team for 2025,
The
and then
Toronto.
the following year, Toronto's gonna come around, and then now they're gonna be able to choose players from the Valkyries team. So the
What?
Valkyrie are gonna then have to go and
Well,
protect
isn't the
players.
Portland team coming in 26 too?
No, I think it's 27. If they have them both come in, then like you might as well just have a
That's what
fucking
I heard.
free.
They said
It needs to be a
Portland
free for
and
all at that point.
a
College
free for all because from
women
what I heard was Portland and Toronto at 26.
women going to the WNBA is just like niggas go. I said niggas. Niggas, yeah, fuck it. Niggas going to college NFL 3 years junior.
No,
Fuck
it's
it, bro.
4 years and
4
for the
years.
WNBA, it's 4
Okay.
years.
All right, 4 years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I about to say because they can be in proposition to get Juju. If they gonna be ass, okay, so what? They can get Juju when she come out after her junior year. But it's
I
2
mean, they
years.
can
Oh, shoot, I
technically
can get
because they'll
I can
be in
get
the
that number one
lottery.
pick in
If they're
26.
ass, they'll be able to be in the lottery, not this past lottery, but the one that's going to be upcoming after their first season.
Yeah,
So they'll be
and
able to be in
depending
the
on
lottery
how
for 2026,
Will
and
be.
they actually could draft Juju, like
and
depending on if
depending
they
on
get the first pick, they could get
and
Yeah.
Juju
depending on
still.
how they may or may not adjust it, but as it is right now, it is a multi-year win percentage thing
It's
that
2
gets you the number
years,
one
so it's
pick.
There's
like
a 2-year win
they
So
wouldn't.
percentage.
So it's like they
they
wouldn't be in the
easily
lottery
could
for
be bad these
26.
back-to-back years
Oh
here and get you.
yeah,
They
yeah,
wouldn't be in the
yeah,
lottery for
yeah,
26. I know that.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, unless they adjust it, which in my opinion they
They
probably
should.
should, because then you're not letting a clearly bad team draft the best players if you're not letting them in the lottery.
Yeah,
That's just
that's
my
why I
opinion
said
on
they
that.
need to at
I
least
don't think
change
that
it.
makes much sense. Um, but yeah, the Portland team will join in 2026. So is Portland
2
and
teams,
Toronto?
free for all.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have too many. I think they'll cut down the number of protected players they can have at that point. It'll probably go from
6 to
6 to
4.
3 or 4.
Let's talk about the college football games too. My man, y'all can keep going.
All right.
Not asked if you're streaming it, F.
I did see that question.
Bro,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
yeah,
I'm
free
gonna
two
stream
free
it.
wins for the Fever this year, man.
I'm gonna stream it. No, I'm gonna play back at 6:30.
Mm,
Depending on how I wake
Put
up,
this at like 5.
Jordan and anybody else, depending on how I'm waking up tomorrow, I might do something at 11 as far as college football. We'll see. But we all know what to look forward to tomorrow as far as the championship games anyway.
tomorrow.
The WNBA expansion draft. The WNBA expansion draft at 6:30. Miles and playback. Nah, they didn't ignore y'all.
Hey, for what it's worth, we do have a really, I think it'll be a good game tonight. UNLV and Boise State in the Mountain West Championship.
If Boise State lose, what happened?
They're out.
Oh, and it'll just get replaced by.
Respect Tulane. Respect Tulane.
No, they'll
Well,
be
yeah,
replaced.
I was gonna say
I didn't think Tulane
Tulane's
had a
also
chance.
a solid.
They don't. They're going to be replaced by UNLV.
It'll
Oh,
probably
okay.
be UNLV. Yeah, I think Tulane also is a good team too. Unfortunately, they had a terrible. I think it was a Black Friday or Thanksgiving game.
Yep.
I think it was Thanksgiving. They had an awful game, and so that's
Against
pretty much.
Memphis.
But they still have a chance to win the AAC versus Army too. So I think we could have two good championship games tonight, and obviously, we'll have the full slate tomorrow.
Yeah, and if Boise State wins, most likely. Actually, not.
Hold up.
Boise State
play
wins, they
tonight?
get a bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, they play tonight.
OG,
Who
I
they
just
play?
lost to the Warriors. Chill, gang.
Who they play tonight?
Oh, they play UNLV.
UNLV.
I ain't watching that shit.
No, it's the system
I'm
is so
probably
because
gonna put my eyes on it.
it's just flawed because if
I'm about to
Boise
watch
State
one nigga run the ball
wins,
40 times, bro.
if Boise State
You watch Derrick
wins,
Henry do it with Tennessee?
Y'all lost to the Warriors, OG, without Curry and Draymond, by the way.
that's psychological, by the way. But
And y'all gonna lose.
They ain't beat these niggas in 1,700 days.
Yeah, that shit was insane when I saw it.
15 in a row is crazy. But the system is flawed because if Boise wins, they'll get a bye. They'll literally get a first round bye. So
Over the Big 12 champion.
Yep.
I thought it was the Power 4 conferences that got the bye.
it's not meant. So the buys go to the top 4 to the 4 highest conference champs.
Okay.
Yeah. So not only is the Power 4 not guaranteed a bye, technically they're also not guaranteed a spot in the playoff either.
Yeah, that's how did they agree to that?
But
that makes no sense. If I was any of the Power 4 conferences, I would say we need to rectify this shit. The fuck?
Yeah.
We'll win the month. We'll win the one that matters next week. The hell is next week? Let me look at their schedule. The hell is next week?
Oh, Miles said it's not guaranteed that Boise gets that.
No, so Miles, so the reason why I'm saying Boise State's gonna get it is because right now Boise's ranked 10 and Arizona State's ranked 15, and they both play ranked teams. Arizona State, like if they both win, Arizona State's not gonna jump. They're not gonna jump 6 spots ahead of Boise State. That's just not gonna
They
happen.
No,
might.
Butter State in a cup game.
Now, if UNLV wins, then yes, the Big 12 would get that last bye, and then UNLV would just get the at-large spot.
Rye said that's wrong.
Ohio State the type of team to lose in one of these teams.
He not playing, right? They
No,
they
it's
not
just gonna be
playing, right?
tricky because we don't know any of the matchups yet. People think they do, but they don't, because it's like if Georgia loses, where do you slot them? Right? If Penn State loses, where do you slot them? Because you're talking about home field advantage. Because Ohio State's probably going to get a home game. Notre Dame's pretty much guaranteed a home game.
Ryan and Miles are both saying you wrong.
Arizona, bro, they're not watching the look at the rankings. Like
Miles said, "Did you not listen to the CFP commissioner?" Miles, what that mean, sir?
Oh no, it's
Oh,
about
nigga, I'm
Ohio
not
State.
talking. Oh, Ohio State. Oh no.
Oh no, yeah, no, Ohio State's in. No. I'm not. No, your game is not locked. The reason why I'm saying your game is not locked is because if Georgia loses to Texas, right? Because here's the thing: those spots, just because you play in the conference championship game, you're not getting to the spots that you're in right now.
A Power 4 school gets the bye.
That's not how that
They
works.
get that. They're
No,
not
it's
giving
not.
no G5 school no bye. They're not doing that.
Okay, so right.
No G5 school is getting no bye over no ACC champion.
Right.
No.
That's no. That's
But the
literally
ACC
not
champion
true.
will already have it. Most likely, I think that's what they're assuming.
So right.
But there's 4 spots. So ACC, SEC, Big Ten. We're talking about that 4th spot.
So
about to give a team that
no. Right. Look at it.
But it's
right now.
we're talking about the Big 12 champion over
So
Boise
right.
State. That's
if
conversation.
you look at it right now, look at how the college football playoff is right now as we speak today. Why is that changing? If you tell me that the G5 is not going to get a bye, why are they ranked the way they've been all season long?
Why are they ranked? They're
gonna right now.
I'm saying they're gonna earn the championship though. They're just not gonna do that. We're like, you got
no. Because the problem is, if they wanted to do that, what they would have done is they would have ranked.
Well, these niggas still got Alabama in this bitch, and I'm sorry, they don't be making no sense anyway.
So
nobody could be put over Alabama.
The reason why Boise State, so they positioned it basically to where unless Boise State loses, they're getting a bye because Arizona State's not because they would have to jump Arizona State 6 spots.
Why is Boise State ahead of Arizona State anyway? I'm confused. They got a better record.
I mean, they do have a better record. They really like Boise State. I mean, I guess you can say. I mean, they haven't really played anybody, but they but they have a great loss, which is they lost at number 1 Oregon at the buzzer. So I mean,
Bear, that don't matter. Who got a better resume? Nobody got a better resume. Don't matter.
I mean, Alabama has the best wins. They also have some bad fucking losses.
They got the worst losses too, bro. Bama shouldn't even be in it. That should be on the outside looking in. No cap.
Alabama makes the most sense.
Wait, so who's out right now? Is Georgia? Georgia's out?
Miami's out.
Miami's out.
Yeah,
damn, if I'm Miami, I'm pissed.
Alabama shouldn't be in at all. Alabama get off the logo.
Miami pissed.
If I'm sorry, if I'm Miami, I'm pissed off.
Ken Ward made a tweet the other day.
Bro, Alabama.
I saw that. He was
Alabama getting in off their man.
Tell that bitch ass nigga stop crying. Go win some fucking football games.
So because here's the thing,
I mean, Alabama and Miami both lost to fucking Georgia Tech, and then they fucking who else? Miami lost to goddamn Who the
my
McCollum?
Alabama. First of all, Alabama lost to better teams than them anyway, bro.
No, they didn't.
No, they
Miami
didn't,
lost to
bro.
Duke as
What?
well.
No.
Stop lying. No, they didn't.
Hold on. Both Alabama and Miami have two pretty bad losses.
What's
Right?
the bad losses that Miami got, Jordan?
Every
Besides
team
Georgia,
Miami lost
They
to was
lost
to
terrible.
Georgia. They lost to
They
Georgia
got
Tech and
Georgia Tech and Syracuse.
which
And
are bad losses.
Syracuse and Alabama lost to
Alabama not
Oklahoma,
losing to
Georgia
goddamn Georgia
Tech,
Tech.
and
No, they did not.
Vandy.
No,
They did
not
not.
Georgia Tech. They
They
lost to
did not.
Georgia
Oklahoma,
plus
Vandy.
Oklahoma and Vandy.
Ooh, beat the shot out of
Georgia
them.
Tech.
They beat
There
the
we
shot out of
go.
Georgia Tech.
I don't know why I feel like I kept saying Georgia Tech. Who also lost to Georgia? No, Georgia almost lost to Georgia Tech. That's what it is.
Yeah. So what's carrying Alabama
Let's
in
just
this
go in.
conversation is
Bad
Alabama.
The
2 point
logo,
conversion.
it's the
Bad
conference,
2 point
bro. That's
conversion.
what's
So here's
carrying
the thing.
Alabama.
No. Here's the thing. Hate them if you want. Alabama still beat Georgia, which is a
Who
great win.
cares?
Yeah, I mean, it is a good win.
Who
So they beat.
cares? They lost to a
Stop talking about
6-6
that one win.
Oklahoma
They have
team,
the
bro.
most
Okay,
ranked
Who
no.
wins.
cares?
But if you
They beat the most
Georgia,
ranked teams.
hold on. They even beat South Carolina, by the way, who is also one of the teams in the conversation. The problem is, if you're Miami, name Miami's
They
best
in the
win.
teams like they in the teams like goddamn
Wait, are we arguing Bama and Miami?
So
Yes.
I'm saying that's
Yeah.
that's what it
I
came
just said
down to.
Miami should be pissed.
Nah, Miami shouldn't. Their resume is terrible. I mean,
Yeah, they
Like
should be.
you had
They should be
Hellgate,
pissed. They
you
go
had those
undefeated.
Cal,
who
you had
like because
you had
again, if you're a Miami fan, who's Miami's best win?
I don't fucking know. I didn't think
Nobody
they
I
were
don't
know.
even
this good. I
know.
didn't think they was good all
Florida.
season.
Florida.
No,
Florida's their
nobody.
best win.
No, we
Florida.
all knew Miami
Florida?
wasn't good all year.
Yes, Florida.
Nigga, what? They ain't play
That was
Clemson
beginning of the
this year?
year. That's beginning of the year.
No,
No,
they
they
That
didn't
was
didn't
the
take
play
first
Clemson.
game
Clemson.
of the season.
Oh, well, that's
Their
fucking
Last
best
play
win was
wasn't
stupid.
Florida.
starting or nothing.
So there you go. Their best wins are like Duke and Louisville.
Really?
That's why they're not in. That is why they're not in.
I thought they played Clemson for some reason.
Right there.
No, but and now
Never mind. I mean, they could be mad, but go sit in the corner.
The hot topic is if SMU loses to Clemson, will
No,
SMU?
SMU should still get in. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
They gonna
the thing
for
because
Alabama, bro. It's gonna happen.
if Clemson beats
I told
SMU,
Jordan. I told y'all 3 weeks ago. ACC is not getting 2 teams in. Like it's not happening.
yeah. So now if Clemson beats SMU, they're talking about Clemson obviously would get a spot because they're conference champ. Would they kick out SMU out of it completely, or are they just going to kick out Bama and put SMU as the last?
SMU is getting kicked out.
SMU is getting in, bro.
I think
that would be.
They putting SMU in, bro. They're not finna.
They're not.
See, here's the thing: you can't. Whatever
SMU
they
is getting
decide
kicked
to
out.
do,
Simple.
whatever they decide to do is going to set a precedent. Whatever, because it's the first one. Whatever they decide to do. So if you start justifying, I don't know, Alabama, they do have the most ranked wins from what I'm seeing. They got the most ranked wins. So you would assume that you would want the team with the most ranked wins in, sure. But also, if you say that a team that's because SMU's they lost to one,
right?
They got one loss, a one-loss team that who did they lose to? Tulane? No,
BYU.
BYU, a BYU team that people did think was good at the time. At the time, that was ranked at the time. I want to say when they played.
Yeah, they're still ranked.
And they're still ranked. And you're saying Alabama, a 2-loss team that does have some bad losses, right? To some not so good teams.
Yep.
Still most ranked wins, gets in over a team that only lost. I mean, not only lost, but has a good loss, right? Has a better loss than you could quote unquote say that Alabama has, and they lost in the conference championship game.
In this scenario,
Alabama has 3 losses.
SMU. Well, so here's the thing: SMU would suffer their
Who
second.
was their third loss? Because I keep hearing 2 fucking teams.
They lost
They
to
have
Tennessee,
Tennessee,
to
Vandy, and
Vandy,
Oklahoma.
Okay,
lost
see
to
y'all niggas
Oklahoma.
ain't. Okay, well then I would say Tennessee's a better loss than BYU.
Here's the thing, right? SMU would be suffering their second loss, right? Which would be Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be, SMU has great losses, but the problem is now if you're arguing for Alabama, where's SMU's best win?
Bro, y'all not being serious. SMU is not getting over Alabama.
Yeah, I don't think they are. Like, where's their best
Y'all
win?
not being serious.
Like,
again, there's a precedent that's gonna be. I don't care what's gonna happen with either. I don't really fuck with college football like that. Or I know who I want to lose. Let me say that.
So
I know who I want to lose overall.
Now the people who argue for SMU, the main complaint is going to be, how can you punish us when we were good enough to make it our conference championship game?
The people who want SMU win is the niggas who don't like Bama. It's that simple.
I don't think so. I wouldn't
So
say that.
because
Bro,
because
Bama should not be in at all. They have three
Yes, they
fucking
should.
losses,
What are you
bro.
talking
What the
about? Who's
hell?
better?
They should not. They lost to a 6-6
now
Oklahoma
here's
team.
the
What
thing
the
though, right,
hell?
Ari? So
They
Mhm.
got
SMU
smacked
right
by
now
I'm
is
Oklahoma.
listening.
Bro, y'all
Beat
just
down
talking
by
fucking
Oklahoma.
I
Michigan.
can still
Y'all
hear
just
you,
talking
They got
fucking
Jordan.
Michigan.
embarrassed
yeah.
What
by
are you
So
talking
Oklahoma,
about?
bro.
SMU's in
What do
the
you mean?
field right now, right?
Y'all
Yeah,
just
So
talking
embarrassed by
Michigan.
Oklahoma.
hold on,
Embarrassed by Oklahoma.
they're not gonna
They're
Oklahoma
do
three,
this,
right?
useless.
huh?
They're 3.
The hell?
Yeah,
You can't argue for
there's three.
Alabama. They got
Okay,
stomped on
y'all
by
just lost to
Oklahoma.
Michigan. What are you
So
talking
so
about?
time out, right? So SMU's
Michigan
in
is
the
better
field,
than Oklahoma
right?
State. We know that.
So theoretically, if they didn't play
It
another
sounded like they
game,
didn't lose to
they would
Michigan,
be
Mm-hmm.
bro.
going
Like
to the
what the fuck?
playoff.
Michigan is better than
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
essentially, that's what you would be saying. That
So
if they just didn't play the conference championship game and didn't get an extra loss.
Yeah, funny, bro.
exactly. So
This
now
nigga
they're
Man,
ain't
trying
being
to
put
argue
punished
Michigan.
for
about
playing an
a
extra game.
6-6
Is
Oklahoma team.
what?
They
Yeah.
put up 3 points to get them folks, bro.
Y'all
What the
are
hell?
funny, bro.
Niggas
Hey,
scored 3 in the
that's why I said
game,
it's gonna
bro.
be a precedent set,
Come on
Jordan.
now.
Yep.
Jordan, stop saying that dumb ass shit, nigga. Win your conference, you make it. It's that simple.
No.
But Bama didn't win their conference.
But here's the thing though, Bama's not playing a game. Like they weren't good.
Bama also didn't win their conference.
Yeah, like they're not playing.
And they
So
also
like,
got 3 losses.
so it's like SMU is. It's like you're saying
They
like,
gonna
okay,
slide
if we
Georgia in
opt,
too if they lose.
it's like if
Bro,
we
it's the
opted out,
same shit with
But
Georgia
Georgia
last
should
year.
make it.
It's the
Georgia is
same
gonna
thing
make
with
it.
Georgia
Would
last year.
Georgia
Win your
have 2
conference.
losses or
3.
3?
When you're in these
Two.
conference championship games,
3.
win your
Man, that
conference,
might
bro.
be the shit that y'all. I'm just playing.
Nah,
What if
Georgia's in.
they really do boot out Georgia
Georgia's in. Georgia's in.
or Ohio State?
Georgia have 3 losses if they lose to Texas, bro. They should be in it. 3 loss teams
Yeah.
should not make this shit
I
happen.
mean,
They're
I'm gonna
not
be for
going to
real.
get penalized for
If you're
losing a
gonna have
championship
two, if
game.
you're gonna have 2 3-loss SEC teams,
No,
you
bro, you
should
shouldn't.
the
That's
head to
foul.
head should go to Bama because Bama beat
Bro,
Georgia.
listen,
I
listen,
So
would be
stop.
more secure
This the
with
problem.
keeping Bama in if
This the
you're gonna
problem,
have
Miles.
three a
so
3-loss
Miles,
SEC team in.
Miles,
here's the
stop
thing.
doing it. Hold up,
If they
Jordan.
have
Hold
the
up,
same
Jordan. Hold
record,
up. You've been
yes,
rapping.
Georgia's
Jordan, you've been
10-3.
rapping. Jordan, you've been rapping. Hold up, Miles. Stop
Yeah.
doing this. Georgia shouldn't be in shit. And they got 3 losses, bro. They played a
Bama
tougher
should be in
schedule.
with 3 losses. What you
They
mean?
played a tougher
I'm standing
schedule,
on that.
bro. They played a tougher schedule. They
3 loss
played a
teams
tougher
should make it,
schedule.
Shaggy.
That's
I'm
simple.
standing on
They
that.
played a tougher
They've
schedule
been
than
saying that
SMU.
since the playoff came around. 3 loss teams should
They
never make
played
it.
a
Okay,
I'm
tougher
but
standing on
schedule
that.
than
hold on,
SMU,
Miles.
bro.
If you're gonna
Like
say
what the
that,
fuck?
hold on, Miles. If you're gonna have that opinion, then you might as well just schedule all cupcakes. You might
What
as
do you
well just
mean?
What do you
Exactly.
No,
mean?
Exactly.
no, bro. This
no.
this the same shit Lane Kiffin been crying about on Twitter for the past 2 weeks. No, stop doing that, bro. You can't use
He's
you
right
can't
though.
use.
Like
No,
you,
he's not. No,
He's
he's
but
not.
not
No, he's not.
right,
No, he's not
bruh.
right. He's not right
Hold on,
because
hold
they
on.
should
You
never lost
should
the
be
fucking floor.
rewarded for playing a
No,
tougher
you should not.
schedule.
Who
I'm
get,
not
bro?
gifting you
But you
for
have to
losing
win.
because you
You have to
lost to a
win.
good
You have to
team.
win. Who
I'm not
cares?
doing it.
Okay,
You have
so
to
Because
win.
what
That's the
is that? Because
problem.
what
They're
that does
not
on the
winning.
other team, what that does on the other side is yes, the rest of the conferences, the Big 12, the ACC, they should not play no fucking body. They
Like, come
shouldn't.
on, bro.
So they never have a loss. So all they have is 1 loss. They should never, ever, ever play a tough fucking team and
so
let y'all fucking Big 10 and SEC teams have the 3-4 losses because now I'm making
Like,
it to
come
a
on,
point to
bro.
where
Shit don't
I
make no
am a
damn
1-loss
sense.
team.
so
So
the
that's
incentive.
what
3 losses
happens when you
teams,
start. Oh, well, they
teams
lost
should not
to
make this shit.
whoever the fuck.
No,
Alabama lost to fucking Oklahoma.
no.
And they
So
got
the
Like, let's be
smacked
incentive.
by
fucking for real.
Oklahoma.
Let's
They
stop
got beat
acting
up
like
on
that's
by
top
Oklahoma,
fucking
bro.
No,
competition.
so
Oklahoma's
That was
ass.
embarrassment.
So
No
what's
cap.
Bro,
gonna
they still
do?
played a tougher schedule no matter what the
Wait a
fuck y'all
second. Wait a
say.
second. So what's gonna do? It's gonna incentivize those teams, right? Those ACC, those Big 12 teams, to start scheduling
No, the fuck,
non-conference.
it's not going to.
Yo, I want to
Everybody
point out the
keeps saying that
biggest
that's going to
polar
happen. That's
bear
been a
is
talk
Notre
since the
Dame, by
fucking
the
start
way.
of the CFP. It's not going to happen. Teams just always schedule easier, so they have the win loss record. It's literally what the fuck. Name me a school that's decided I'm going to go schedule tougher competition so I can get in next time. Name me a school that
Notre
does that
Dame
because
lost
it
to
doesn't
NIU,
happen that
bro.
way.
Niggas totally forgot about that. I just want y'all to
You
know
talking
that.
about Notre Dame's lost to
Yes.
NIU?
Yeah, they lost
Yeah,
to NIU and niggas totally forgot
Well,
about that
Notre
shit.
Dame
Okay,
got the
bro, that's what
benefit
I'm
of.
saying.
Well, here's the thing. But Notre Dame got the benefit of losing early.
they
Like
got the
they
benefit
lost.
of losing early and being an 11-1 fucking team. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, like they lost. They lost in the week 2, and then they won 10 in a row. bro.
You're gonna schedule your possibly tough team in the beginning, and then the rest of your shit's gonna be cupcake.
So
you can be 11-1 and lock yourself in that way.
So here's where I'm at. So the 3-loss thing, right? I think Georgia and Alabama is two completely different cases, right? Georgia lost to Alabama, and Georgia also lost to Ole Miss, and then their third loss would be Texas. Those are three really good teams. Alabama lost to Oklahoma and Vanderbilt. Exactly. Ole Miss lost to Kentucky and Florida. To me, when you lose to the top of the SEC
and LSU, they lost to LSU too.
And also LSU. So when you lose to the top
Jackson
of the
Dark
SEC,
looked absolutely ass in that game. They should keep him out of the playoffs for that shit. He sucks.
Georgia won the games they were supposed to. They suffered some tough losses to really good teams. The problem with Ole Miss, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, you no longer have an argument when you lose at home to Kentucky. Now your argument is
That's good,
dead.
Andrew.
You lost to Kentucky. That is
I
not a
wish
game
Ohio
you
State
should
could play a
lost.
real schedule.
Like, and shoot, and Alabama, which
Don't look at Ohio
luckily for them,
State's
they
schedule.
suffered. They got some help to get back in there, but Alabama would have had no gripe because it's like you lost to Oklahoma. You should not like if you beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, then you're gonna get in if you have a couple of tough losses. Now
And
for the
Ohio State ain't playing nobody like that either. It's fucking Oregon.
Bro, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I
Ohio
don't know what
State,
the fuck Miles is talking
Yeah,
about.
they
Like, of course
didn't.
we
Like,
going. Like, nigga, shut up. Y'all just lost
they
to
didn't really
Michigan,
play
bro.
nobody like that either, dude.
so
I mean,
Ohio State,
Indiana.
so Ohio State beat number 3 Penn State on the road, and they beat
That I was told by Ohio State's fans was ass.
well, whatever you think about your personal opinion about Penn
What
State,
what is
Indiana.
he saying? What are we talking
Wait,
about?
wait, wait, wait. But hold on,
What is he talking about? No, hold on. What is he talking about?
Ohio State schedule.
Didn't y'all say Penn State was ass? Didn't y'all? Y'all
Yes,
didn't
Penn
believe
State
in
is
Penn
ass.
State?
Like,
Okay, then.
you trying
Okay.
to big up
What do
Penn
y'all
State?
think about?
No, I'm not
What do
bigging
y'all
up
think?
Penn State at all.
Bro, it's simple. If they would have lost to Penn State and they third L came to Michigan, Miles would have been saying the same shit, bro. Oh, we played better
Nah,
teams than
I would
SMU
definitely say
did, though.
I would have said
We
not
played
put us
better
in
teams
that
than
bitch.
SMU.
Hell nah.
The comment was that Ohio State didn't really play nobody like that
I mean,
either.
so let me
Well,
speak on that.
the
So
problem
with
also
the
comes
with
in
the
is if
whole
you,
bringing like Pac-12s to the Big Ten, that fucked up our out of conference schedule. Like that fucked up everybody's out of
Y'all
conference schedule.
decision. Oh well.
So I mean next year we got Texas week 1. So
I
Y'all
mean,
still
it
got
just
Michigan
for
week
you,
whatever.
all right,
Like
I don't think you
I
should
fuck with you.
ever.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
I don't think you should ever like
I'm just not gonna say
say
nothing. I
like.
fuck with you hard.
I don't think it's ever a point where you should say like
Oh shit.
a team with this many losses can't do this. Like I don't think it's smart to speak in absolutes like that. Every year is different. Every situation is different. Like
agree.
just
Which
saying just
team are
because a
you
team
referencing? Are you just saying in general?
in general
Oh,
like that
okay.
doesn't it's just to say a 3-loss team can't make it. Why? Like what if the
I mean, but
circumstances
y'all
of that
gotta
year fit it?
remember. Oh my bad, my bad.
Because
Um
to me, what are you
and then one
saying
more thing.
about
And
the
then
teams that don't have 3 losses?
and just in general, you also got to be careful when you, not to say you should look at strength of schedule and things like that, but just make sure you tell the whole story when you do it, because there could be a situation where, let's say, your team and one of your best wins is against a team that was otherwise like undefeated, or was otherwise undefeated, but they played a cupcake schedule. Then yeah, you can say you beat a team that was otherwise undefeated, but they played a cupcake schedule. So how good is that team really? So you just start getting into murky waters when you start trying to get too granular like that. So just make sure when you do that, you tell the full story. Don't value that win against that team and then go to that team and say they asked because they played a cupcake schedule.
Yeah, so and the committee does a tricky thing where people may not realize it, but the bottom of the top 25 matters almost as much as the top. Because when you start looking at the bottom, like 21, 22, or whatever, those are valuable in terms of quote unquote number of ranked wins for the top of it. So, like Alabama, for instance, right? So, I mentioned Duke and Louisville. Those were two teams that I think they were rated just outside of the top 25. I think they were like 30 or something. So, imagine if the committee had put those teams in, now all of a sudden Miami's resume looks better. Or let's say like a team like Missouri, who I think finished like 21 or 22 or whatever. It's like if they didn't make that top 25, Alabama's resume doesn't look
I mean,
as good. So
to me, the only conference that's gonna ever be mad if you want, I really don't give a fuck. The only conference that's gonna ever have the strength of schedule argument is going to be SEC.
yeah.
Because the Big Ten is extremely top heavy.
Yep.
And truthfully, for the most part, now that Oregon's come over, the only really good, like, 2 competitive teams that people are going to really put stock in are Ohio State and Oregon. So the top of the
Yep.
Big Ten is extremely top heavy. The only league, and it's been this way for a while, the only conference that's going to have that, well, even a 3-loss team should go wherever, whatever, a multi-loss team should go wherever, is going to be the SEC, because that's the only conference that consistently plays, for the most part, ranked competition, which is why they try to create this, because it's to get it from being SEC slanted. Because when you do that, the only conference, and like if it just ends up being a ton of SEC teams in the CFP, it is what it is. But that's not point of the CFP. It was to create more opportunity for other conferences, not just use the same formula, use the same logic, and then give it all to like the SEC teams, because that's the only teams that truthfully, because when it comes down to it, Kentucky, I mean, Ole Miss, though they have bad losses, they can say they got some good wins. Same thing for Tennessee, same thing for Georgia, same thing for Alabama. You start going down that list off, and then Texas, you start going down that list of like, well, we have good wins because these teams are good, but we also have losses, and they weren't terrible. I mean, granted, I'm never gonna get off that Oklahoma loss, but they weren't terrible in comparison to the losses that some of these other teams or the competition that some of these other conferences played. That's why you have to look. That's why I don't want to use win-loss record as granular, but I do think if I'm an SMU team, regardless of whoever the fuck I played, the only teams that have an argument about competition is in the SEC. Everybody else does not have that argument to me if I'm SMU.
Correct.
Especially since both of my losses will come to ranked teams. I lost to BYU first game of the season. They were a ranked BYU team, and I just lost in a conference championship game versus Clemson. And I get booted out, but Ohio State stays, Alabama stays, Georgia stays. If they lose, like, yeah, I'm looking at you fucking funny, because what do you mean?
I want to add something to the Ohio State point. It's nasty as I'm gonna say it. We have 2 top 5 wins, by the way.
We do.
Just
Yeah,
want y'all to know
I
that.
just, but you tell me those teams are ass.
So
Exactly,
Not
but
discount
we
them.
top
We
5.
we
So you got
only say they ass because we play them. We
hey,
beat up on them all the time, but literally they're
Okay.
good football teams. That's all it is. They're good football teams. 2
yeah,
top
because I
5
was gonna say
Yeah,
wins.
Penn State.
because Penn State's 11-1 with their only loss to Ohio State.
So
Right.
same thing with
Indiana's
But again,
11-1.
11-1.
a
The only loss
top
is us.
heavy
Yep.
conference. The
It is.
strength
It is.
The SEC top heavy conference too, in my opinion.
the strength of schedule ain't there either. Like,
So,
it's still not really there either.
so when you talk about strength of schedule in
Where's
the
Indiana
SEC,
ranked?
now here
Is
Indiana's
strength of schedule not there no more?
They're ranked, or were they placed in the bracket? Because the rankings in the
Yeah.
bracket don't really
I
align.
think it's 10 and 11 respectively, or 10 and or maybe 10 and
Because
both.
Indiana is 9 in the
And who are they
CFP
behind?
Yo,
rankings
Miles.
in the
Tennessee, Ohio
bracket.
State. They're
Where
behind
What's
Miles
up?
you at?
Tennessee, Ohio State.
What's up?
Are they behind
Who
any
you
three
think should
loss
be in
teams?
over Bama right now?
Indiana, they're one above. I think the only 3-loss team currently in the championship in the bracket is Alabama, and they're one above Alabama.
Yeah, I think they're telling you something with that. Like if Ohio State can value that as a great win, but they're telling you something about how they view Indiana by if they
Yeah.
have one loss and they're that low. Like y'all might be valuing that win a little bit more than they are.
hey, you gotta take it to
I
the
told
committee.
y'all, bro. Indiana was not supposed to get in. Miami lost. That's why they in.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
I can see that being the case.
so the thing is, Alabama truly needed help to be able to get in this. They needed 2 teams to lose to be able to get in,
And they both did,
lost.
right? Yeah.
Which was Clemson and Miami.
Clemson and Miami, yep.
So, like, the thing
Because I could see a realm where if the championship game was Miami Clemson, right? Because that was going to be an option.
It would have been
Miami
Miami.
Clemson.
It would have been Miami and SMU.
Oh, Miami SMU. Oh, then I was about to say I think they got in. But they will both get in, but
Yeah.
I think
So
we
if
would
it
still
was-
be in this scenario.
Yeah. So if it was Miami and SMU, then both teams would have still got in. And the ACC actually had a potential to possibly get 3 teams.
3 teams in. Yeah, I saw that.
So the thing is, yeah, Alabama actually needed help. When you talk about strength of schedule in the SEC, usually you justify that when you have great losses. So in Georgia's case, their 3 losses, if they lose, would be to Texas, Alabama, and Ole Miss.
Do y'all think Notre Dame is better than SMU?
Yes.
Yes. Even with their loss to Northern Illinois, they're better than SMU.
Do y'all think? I'm just
I
asking. Do y'all
haven't
think?
seen much of SMU, to be honest, but I would think Notre Dame's a better football
Do
team.
y'all think SMU? I mean, Boise State's better than SMU?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Bro, that's what me and Jordan disagree at. Georgia lose, they not safe.
I think Georgia's safe.
I don't think
How,
Georgia's
Jordan?
safe either.
I'm gonna
It
tell you how
doesn't
this-
make. It doesn't. It theoretically does not make sense. We talking about Alabama being the 3-loss SEC team that gets booted. I think it's much more logical,
So I'm gonna tell you why Georgia's safe.
and I think they'll flip it that way. Personally,
Georgia's safe because they have
Georgia.
because they'd have a win over the SEC champion. That's why they're safe.
Yeah, but then you just
and then they lost.
You just lost to them.
But
So it's a split. You
It's a
lost to
split.
them and you
That's your
beat
third
them.
L. That's your third L, and you lost your
But
first.
it's a third
Georgia.
loss too.
So the thing about Georgia, because here's the thing, it's really going to be hard to boot out a team that makes it to the conference champion. It's going to be hard.
No, it's not because we're talking about it with SMU.
So hold on. I'm getting to that. The reason the SMU thing, because here's the thing, the SMU thing is still even a debate, right? Most like I think they get booted out. Some people think they'll stay in, but SMU, who has no great wins at all, like on their schedule, it's kind of 50-50. Georgia with a win over Texas and a win over Tennessee. Not like to me, yeah, they're safe.
3 losses, Jordan. Stick to that.
Even if they have 3 losses,
literally not fair to SMU.
Because here's the thing.
What's the point of them
Again,
playing?
if you let 2-3 loss teams, I brought this up on precedent. You let 2-3 loss teams make it in over fuck. Oh, they played again. I told you there's only one conference that has the strength of schedule shit.
Georgia
Get
is not
in
safe, bro.
over SMU, who made it to the conference championship game and had one loss to a ranked team their first week.
Jordan, who's the team last year?
Who was what team?
Who was the playoff teams last year?
Texas, Washington, Michigan, and I forgot.
Alabama.
Bama.
Yeah.
And they were saying Georgia should get in over one of those teams as well, even though they lost to Bama in the conference championship game.
So
they're not.
So the tricky thing is though, when you have and I was of the opinion that Georgia was going to move be on the outside looking in. So last year it was tricky because it was only a 4-team playoff. You had undefeated Michigan, who was dominant all year, undefeated Washington, who had 2 wins over, I think it was like top 8 Oregon. Then you had Texas, who beat Alabama, and then you had Alabama, who was the SEC champion and beat Georgia. The problem is you're not going to kick out Texas because they had a head-to-head win over Bama.
Texas is locked regardless if they lose.
So Alabama, right? You can't kick out Alabama, who literally just beat Georgia days before, like the day before. So Georgia kind of just got unlucky, and obviously you had undefeated FSU, who was crying at the table that we're undefeated and we're a conference champ, but we lost our quarterback. So last year was just tricky because you had 6 teams who really had a case, and you only had 4 spots. The problem here is there's 12 spots. Low-key, there's not 12 teams who are deserving of being in this field.
No, there are. They just come from a specific.
Problem is, somebody got to get in. Georgia's safe because, I'm 99% sure Georgia's safe. And they're not kicking out Georgia in favor of. Well, Georgia would be 10-3, and Alabama would be 9-3. So.
It's simple. The same way Alabama's in on the back end, that would happen to Georgia. If Georgia's already ahead of Alabama, they're in a conference championship game. They're not going to take Georgia out if they didn't even take Alabama out at this little preview last week or earlier this week. That's all that's going to happen. And then plus, Jordan's hitting right on the nose. Georgia has some good wins against 2 good teams this year, and then losses against really good teams as well this year. And then Bama is at worst, and Bama is still in. Georgia would still be in on any team on the back end that I can probably bring up, whether that's Miami, whether that's say SMU loses to Clemson, SMU, whoever the case may be. That's all that's going to happen, bro. Georgia's 99% sure going to be in.
Yeah, that's foul, dog.
I'm not. Not only is Georgia in,
precedent is. I said it all. Precedent's going to get set.
They're gonna stop. They're gonna stop. They're gonna stop trying to cause it's been a hypothetical thing going on for the past 2 weeks, bro. Of people saying they want to see these other schools play the schedules of the Georgias, the Alabamas, and Tennessees. But people gotta stop.
But that matter though,
bro. But I also want to point out. I also want to point out because if I know you got a
hypothetical thing, bro.
I know you got to pivot to NBA. Let's be very clear. It takes 2 teams. It takes 2 schools to agree to play these games. And there's literally no reason for even if Alabama feels like they can beat them, even if Georgia feels like they can beat them, even if UT feels like they can beat them, there's no reason to see how SMU played this season and schedule an SMU on your schedule. There's no incentive because you can still lose. And that becomes a loss for you. So just as much as it would benefit.
What team?
Did Alabama not lose to Oklahoma?
bro.
Well,
Alabama
They
beat
got
the shit out of
smacked
SMU.
on. They got
Did I?
punched on
Did,
by
Alabama will
Oklahoma,
beat the
bro.
brick
so
out of
so
SMU.
so
Stop doing this.
They
SMU
got
was
punched
ass.
on by
again, there's
Oklahoma,
a
bro.
reason why
Alabama will
these
beat the
schools
brick
do
off
not.
SMU.
There's a reason why Alabama and Ohio State do not play
Alabama
every
will
fucking
beat
year.
the brakes
There's a
off
reason
SMU.
why Alabama hasn't even tried to play Penn State because it is the risk. Not saying that you. I think Bama thinks they. I think Bama will win. Two, I
You're
think
saying
Bama
that what
thinks they
year?
will win.
When you're saying that,
But
what year are you
again,
referring
there
to?
is a risk
You
that
referring to
comes with
Bama now,
playing
right?
those teams.
You're referring
There's
to
a
Bama now,
reason why
right?
they don't schedule them.
It's the conference, bro. They hold the conference at a higher tier than all the other ones.
When y'all say
so
You can
this,
have a you can have a
y'all
bad you
referring
can
to
have
the
a
Bama
bad you can have
touchdown,
a
right?
bad L in the SEC and it don't matter. Like Alabama
so
literally got punched on by Oklahoma, punched on by Oklahoma, and they are still in. That should not be
wait,
a fucking thing.
so
Miles,
If that
who
happened,
was
wait,
if
behind?
that
wait,
Bro,
happened
no,
to
no,
you
no,
still
anybody
haven't
else,
wait,
answered
bro,
my
that would
Miles,
matter.
question,
Miles,
They
you
bro.
got
You
have
still
punched
haven't
on,
answered my
bro. They
question,
didn't put
wait,
up
time
three
out, time out. You
points. Jalen
have
Miro
to
looked so bad.
bro.
wait,
You
They're
just
time
still
out.
in
you
the
just
playoff.
talk and don't answer
That should
questions,
not be
bro.
happening right
Wait a
now.
second, wait
Who
a
should be
second.
ahead
Shaggy,
of
what you
them?
say? I ain't hear you. What you
Who
say?
should be ahead of them right now?
Miami. Fuck you
You're
mean?
delusional. You're delusional. You're
Oh,
So
delusional.
Miami,
okay,
bro,
You're
Miami
delusional.
don't have
no, no,
They
no.
Miami's
play.
worst
They play the
loss
sweetest
is to
schedule
a
in
ranked
Oz.
three team. What do you
Wait a second,
mean?
wait a second, wait a second. I'm
Their
sorry.
worst loss is
I
to a
do gotta
9-3
move
football
soon,
team.
y'all.
If
Wait,
you're
what? I can't even
Miami,
hear Miles.
Bro,
if you're Miami,
Miami's worst loss is to like a 75, 76 Georgia Tech team. Alabama worst loss is to a 6-6
But who was
Oklahoma
That's
Miami
the
team,
biggest
bro.
thang,
win?
bro.
Miami didn't beat no ranked teams, Miles.
Bro,
Like, why
Exactly,
you
bro. Like,
keep
stop
bro,
getting
being
at this point,
delusional,
Miami
bro.
game?
we're
What
not
are you talking
focusing
about?
on
Who have they
focusing
beat?
on the wins. We already know the
no, but the,
Nigga,
Alabama
wins
has the
get you
win
in.
argument, bro. What you
That
mean? I'm
matters
oh,
talking about
though.
okay, but
losses
Miles,
right now
no,
is the
no, no, no,
argument
no,
that I'm pushing
Miles,
back,
as
pushing back
as
against.
much as you talk about losses and they do matter, who you
Yeah,
beat matters more than who you lose to.
Facts.
I'm sorry,
Well,
that's kind
well,
of
well,
it
yeah.
only
So
matters in the
yes,
SEC, bro.
basically,
That's what it
yes.
sounds like, gang. It only matters in the SEC then. 'Cause it don't matter who the fuck you lose to in any other
okay.
conference. You
But
lose somebody else,
Bro, what
you
are
get
you
no,
dropped
no, no,
talking
no,
down.
no.
In
about,
the
Time,
bro?
SEC,
no,
that
no.
shit
You
don't
can't
matter, bro.
even wait. You can't even because again, name one ranked win on Miami's
Yeah,
schedule.
that matters,
It doesn't even
Miles.
have to be an
Jordan, I
SEC
just
team.
told you, Alabama has the win argument, but they have 3 losses.
Okay,
Once
but then
But my
the consent, the misconception, where everybody thought once
And they
Alabama
have the
lost to
most
Oklahoma,
ranked
they thought they
wins.
was fucked.
okay,
They
hold
have
hold
the
on, hold on,
most
hold on,
ranked wins,
hold
bro.
on.
Stop ignoring that.
Miami, wait, time out. Here's the crazy part. Miami's best win doesn't touch Alabama's best win. Miami's best win doesn't touch Alabama's second best win, and Miami's best win doesn't touch Alabama's third best win.
Spanked them.
Like none. Like, bro, Miami don't lose to Syracuse. I'm sorry. Do not lose to Syracuse with your season on the line.
My dog really hate them niggas, man.
And they were up 21, Miles. Like they were up 21.
G. Alabama didn't put
And
up
then
10
bro,
points against a
Miles, stop it,
6-6
Miles,
Oklahoma team, gang.
Miles,
They didn't
stop
have
ignoring the fact that even
all
though they
their
were winning,
best
Miami's
players
been
been
looking
hurt
shaky
all
all year.
season. What the fuck? I'm
Even
not
though they've
going
been
no,
winning,
bro.
Miami been looking
I
shaky
hear
all
both
year.
sides.
Hey,
I
no,
think
they
Bama should
had
be over.
Shaggy. No, I ain't gonna lie, I'm with you. They have been looking shitty all year, but they won those games. I knew it was gonna catch up eventually, but I didn't think they was gonna get fucked up like this.
Miles, this is why they exactly should have won their conference. It's that simple.
What I'm saying though, bro, all these other
No
conferences and these
rank
other
wins. You're
schools,
not
bro,
undefeated and you didn't win your
they
conference.
shouldn't have to run the table and win a conference to get in
Hold
Yes,
on.
they
over
should.
a team that has
Wait,
3
They
L's.
should.
no. Time out, Miles. I
I
promise
gotta
was
move
weak.
though, y'all. I gotta
Okay,
move.
I'm gonna say this one thing, Miles. I promise you, if they would have beaten Syracuse and lost to SMU, I promise you they still would have been in. If they had beaten Syracuse, got to the ACC championship game and lost in the ACC championship, they would have been in. I promise you. They're not playing today.
Neither is Alabama.
But
Alabama
again,
ain't gonna play for 2 weeks, bro. What do you mean?
hold on. But again, if you don't have the wins, you need to be able to have a leg to stand on. If you don't have the wins, you need to be able to fall back on something else. And something as simple as just win-loss record is not enough. At least if you would have made your conference championship game as a one-loss team, you would have been able to say, all right.
Alabama didn't do that either, though, Jordan. They're
Okay, but what I'm saying is
championship game.
But what I'm saying is they have ranked wins. They have something to stand on. Miami doesn't have anything to stand on. You get what I'm saying?
I guess, bro. I'm with you, man. I see both sides, but I
They
just
was in
think
the hell game.
college football.
I see both sides. I see
Okay.
both sides, bro. But I do think the wins is the shit that's going to spank Miami ultimately in the end. To be honest,
That mean they
the
finna have
scheduling the wins, bro. The scheduling the wins.
They finna have 3-loss SEC team seat in the playoff, bro. And people finna throw a fucking fit.
And is anybody going to argue that Miami's better than any of them teams?
Miami it's a good football team, bro. I think
Is
they're better
Miami
than
better than
Alabama.
any of them? No, but is Miami
I think
better
they're
than any
better.
of them teams?
I think they're better than Alabama. I don't think
All right, well
Alabama's
then
that good.
that's a
Yeah,
different
you're
argument. Then.
delusional. You're
I don't
delusional.
think Alabama's that good, bro. I
That's
swear.
a different
Jalen
Yeah,
Milroe
argument.
got
that's straight. That's hate right there. That's hate right there.
That's a
Alabama's not
That's
that
hate right
good,
there.
bro. I swear to God, Alabama's not that good.
Alabama go to the SEC and win that bitch. I mean the
Who
ACC and
cares?
win that bitch.
But they're
You know
not.
that?
But they're BJ. You can't say that.
The
You
fuck I
cannot say
can.
that. That's a hypothetical. That's what ACC fans been saying for forever. You can't say that.
Shit
Again.
me. You throw Miami in that motherfucking
Miami had
SEC
a
water, bro.
chance.
They might
They
not
had a
win fucking
chance.
4 games.
All
No,
Miami had to do
it's all
was
good,
beat
bro.
Syracuse.
We ain't.
All they had to do was beat
All
Syracuse.
Alabama had to do was not lose to a bad football team, and they did twice
But guess
same
what?
season.
They got penalized for it, and then they
No, they
needed
didn't.
help.
They dropped to 4 spots?
They dropped from 7 to 13.
Just like they ain't penalized Ohio State for losing a fucking unranked Michigan team, right?
But
We
guess what?
We went from 2 to 5.
Guess
Hey
what?
But
man, send
I
Bama
don't even know why.
South then, man. Fuck it, dog.
Hold
Oh,
on. You know
God.
why
All right.
Ohio State didn't get penalized? Because they have great wins.
Yeah, we got 2 top 5 wins. We not
There
the
you
same.
go.
It's not that, bro. What you mean?
Who
We not
you
Miami.
beat?
What you talking
Who
about?
you beat matters more than who you lose to. There you go.
Bro, respectfully, y'all Jazz and Indiana win, but all right.
No. Even if we don't think Indiana and Penn State are that good, at the end of the day, they're top
Hey,
10 teams.
Why
we
could they in
know
the Big
they
Ten?
ass, but they were ranked
They
4,
were
so
ranked
you
when we
have
beat
to
them.
go by that rank. We are the
gotta go by
committee.
that.
You're not looking at it as real football fans. It's a committee shit. They ranked
It's a
them niggas
committee shit,
4,
bro.
so we beat the number 4 team. So you have to
That's
take
like
it
that's
for
what we
what it
got to
is.
stand on, bro. But my fault, L. I ain't mean to drag
and they
you.
lost
y'all
by
straight,
1 point at Oregon, by the way. So it's like, you know.
Good combo though. Most
Y'all
definitely.
looking at us. Look at Oregon, man.
Miles
What are we
respect
looking at
Ohio
Oregon
State.
for?
Miles respect Ohio State ranked wins, but not Bama.
Well, Ryan,
I mean,
why are we
I
looking
like
at
Bama.
Oregon,
Most
Ryan?
definitely. I ain't lying.
Outside of us, who y'all beat?
Nobody.
Who we lose to?
No, they ain't beat on the soul, right? Besides us, no cap.
Well, hold up. Who they lose to?
In dog fights with
Or this
Idaho and
troll,
fucking
bro.
Boise
I'm
State.
trolling you guys.
Oh, okay.
I ain't that dumb.
Okay.
We'll see y'all soon again, Dory. Don't worry about it.
Maybe. We'll see. Y'all might have to play Alabama. I'm not gonna lie.
No, if we play Tennessee, it's dead.
I don't
If
think
we play
that's
Alabama, it's dead too. No cap.
I don't think that's stamped.
If we play Tennessee or Alabama, it's dead. No cap. I'm not scared of Jalen Milroe.
If the people win who I think's gonna win, I think y'all play Alabama, but we'll see.
And that's cool. That's cool with me. I need that get back as well. That's 4 years in the making.
Okay.
Good combo though, Els.
Great combo, fellas.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to touch on.
Shout out to Ari for tapping in tapping in too.
Man, niggas rushing for that weak ass NBA slate last night.
I definitely wanted y'all to touch on some of the games you think is worth watching on NFL Week 14, and then obviously some of the college football games that's starting today, leading into tomorrow. Like Shaggy said, yeah, week slate or whatever the case may be. I'm just doing my job to touch on the schedule and the slate, and if anybody chime in on any of the games, feel free. And then I got some other work to do, so I'm giving myself 3 p.m. That's why I was trying to get to it. And if I get out of here before 3, that's even better for me. So that's going to shift to playback, playback.tv/facts and stats. Playback.tv/facts and stats. Where we're going to look at some of the NBA games from last night and have a conversation about them. And then, like I said, if it's quick, that's cool. But I feel like for the first 2.5 hours of the show has been good anyway. With talking about the Lions and Packers game, Dan Campbell decision to go for it, Travis Hunter in the draft, and in the college football playoff. As you can see, I updated the title to YouTube, and I also updated the description as well for what we talked about. The link to become a member. Make sure y'all become a member on the YouTube side if you're not a member already. 3 different levels. Facts Black, appreciate the support. Make sure y'all check out the website. You see the merch in the description as well, factandstats.us. And also make sure y'all hit that subscribe button as well. Greatly appreciate it. The show is going to shift to playback, but we're going to talk about the NBA. Then after that, I'm going to get up out of here on this Friday and enjoy the rest of my day and work on getting some clips and things of that nature from the show today. Playback.tv/facts and stats. That room is now live. And again, thank y'all for all the support. It means the world to me. And I'll see y'all on playback again. Playback.tv/facts and stats. Playback.tv/facts and stats. The show is now there, and I'll see y'all there.